chat. Today is a significantly less amphetamine-fueled episode. I have taken care of the business, and now I'm ready to talk about fat retards on the internet. This will be another episode where I just took everything news related that I was going to talk about and I just fucking threw it out. I don't give a shit. There's very, very minor, I think, one thing. It's not even really news. It's just funny. I will, for the sake of continuancy and to make sure that my staff stay employed, I will employ the news hamster for that segment, regardless of how brief it is, just so that the contract stays valid. But there's not really anything news related I want to talk about directly. I probably mention it just in passing, but. The last few months have been like some of the most frustrating and like time consuming. I'm very fortunate that everything is kind of mellow right now because I don't know how the fuck I would deal with the shit that I have to deal with on top of dealing with other problems. I think that like US end of year probably still likely. It's just such a fucking nuisance. Everything's such a fucking nuisance, chat. That being said, is there any other stuff that any other clerical issues? I'm thinking, someone offered to do editing for my stream so I can post clips to YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and shit. And he has not said. I asked him, so give me samples. If you think that you can do this job, and I will financially compensate you if the archives actually start making money. If you think you can do this job and you just want to send me like samples, go for it. Just fucking email me samples. For the 16:9 videos, just make them like under a minute. Take a segment out. I like the reverb noise that PewDiePie uses for censoring. So if you want to censor words, just use that. Don't pick anything that's like too risque. And we'll see how that goes. You don't have to do like zoomy shit with the editing. Just do like regular cuts and stuff, and show the chat if it's relevant. I don't know. Just show me what you want to do if you want to try and fill that position. As far as the actual clips for the vignettes for YouTube, just take out anything related to trannies. I know that's hard, but try to make like a highlight reel of each episode, and I'll see how that works. Because I do want to get serious about all the shit that I do, because I've been flying by the edge of my seat for a very long time, and I've been treating things kind of recklessly. And as I mentioned earlier, I think I mentioned this at the start of the year in my like New Year's resolutions thing, but like I've been treating the assets that I do have pretty negligently, which is a shame, just because there's other shit that I have to do, and I kind of want to do things more seriously, and I kind of want to. One of the things that I want to pursue is, as far as like the forum goes, I want to see if I can promote like the second language board a lot more, because I know that we have a ton of people that speak second languages and stuff, and I thought it would be nice to divvy up mod responsibilities in such a way that there can be more expansion in those areas. Because the site's doing very well. The site's peaking over 4,000 people a day now. It's pretty much right back to where it was before Drop Kiwi Farms, and that's just in terms of guests. User logins are rising pretty significantly too. So and with the funding that we get for the legal stuff, a lot more is on the table, and I have like an actual plan for getting merchandise back up. Because if you don't know, I didn't really talk about this too much because I wanted to contest it. Stripe demonetized Man at the Internet in December last year, and this cost us the merchandise on the site. It cost us the Kick membership stuff, and it also cost us the Odyssey super chats and membership stuff. So all that stuff disappeared because of Stripe randomly perusing people that had integrations with Stripe and deciding, oh yeah, this guy's banned on like a different company, so we're just gonna ban him there. So I'm looking into that, and I'll just say what my plan is, because usually I try to be very cloak and dagger about these things, but I think when I'm dealing with the law, I don't have to be so opaque. A long time ago, a couple months ago, Tennessee passed something called a Fair Services Act, and it basically regulates that any company or any financial service, any bank, payment process, or payment network that does business in Tennessee must give Tennesseans and Tennessee companies special privileges in regards to political speech and affiliation without any kind of limitation. Um, and it was very difficult to find a Tennessean who was willing to basically sign up their asshole to be violated by being the front person for, Man at the Internet Merchandising LLC or whatever the fuck. Florida has passed identical legislation. It's actually even more broad, to the point where parts of it have been struck out because they overrided federal anti-money laundering regulation. But the core elements that I care about are still there. And obviously, I've maintained Florida residency for the last 10 years. So I am particularly privileged to access this legislation. And I'm thinking of making a merchandising company in Florida and just making myself the front of this. And if the banks fuck with me, if the payment networks fuck with me, I will sue them. I will sue them in the state of Florida. Because it's worth it. It's, having that access would be a huge win for everybody. And if it works, I have actually, not only do I have residency there, not only do I have a legitimate reason to run businesses there, not only is it a great state to do businesses in, but there are other businesses I've used for merchandising that are based in Florida. So I can not only just say, oh, look, like if I went to Tennessee, they could say, oh, he just went forum shopping. He set up camp in Tennessee just to exploit this law. He's not really a Tennessean. In Florida, I can prove that not only do I legitimately do business in Florida, but I do business with businesses in Florida, which is all the better. So I'm working on that. This is one of the many things that I've just had around in my head that I'm trying to do, mostly by myself. I do have a lot of help with Hardin. Hardin's like my rubber duck now. If I ever have a complaint, I just yell at him and say, like, this sucks. What do you think about this? And he actually responds, unlike the rubber duck. The rubber duck doesn't respond to me, unfortunately, but Hardin does. So yeah, that's one of the things that I want to do. And if it works, not only does it work for Men at the Internet, which is great because it's a good source of income for the podcast and stuff, but I can help other people. Not everybody has access to, like, what is it, Redbubble or whatever. There's all sorts of little like Shopify. There's like little outlets that let you just like print whatever the fuck on a piece of blank merchandise and sell it. But there are lots of people who don't have access to that, and I can make that a real business. Like, I can hire people to help coordinate merchandising runs for other people, and I can take a percentage of that, and everybody wins, and it would be great, and it would be protected by Florida state law. So that's like a legitimate business idea that I've had in my head for a long time that I would like to pursue as early as next year. So I am working on a bunch of stuff, and it's it's stressful, but it's worth doing. Like, these things are worth doing, and they're worth pursuing, and I hope that they work out, because I'm starting to see a lot of things moving in the right direction, and it gives me a lot of optimism. So that's what we're looking at, and yeah. I think I mentioned this last stream, but when I have the ability to write again and publish it on Zitter, which will happen because I continue to send them complaints constantly. I'm gonna draft up a very brief thing about how we could fix a lot of issues in society by just releasing constraints on 3 things in particular. So I will go to that. So that's it. That's what's on my mind. There's some other stuff, but that's more like, I don't want to talk about it because people could fuck with it. I would like to see Liz Fong Jones trying to pass legislation in Florida to undercut my my business expenditures there. So first, let's get the ham out, because we got some not news really to talk about. Here we have a video. I tried to find this on TikTok itself because I'm like, God, the video quality is terrible. How did he fuck this up? And then I went to this guy's thing, and it's the exact same video. So the poor quality is not the result of this guy reposting it. The African-American gentleman who recorded this decided to do so with a lens smeared with grease, perhaps from fried chicken or something else. and this is just what it looks like. So you may get a headache watching this, but it's really the message. The message is the important thing here.
Walking through Walmart in Pennsylvania, and people are upset because the EBT machines are down on the first of the month. How is that? On Walmart's busiest day, EBT machines are down. It's crazy. People need their food. The sad thing about it is people have paid money to get a ride up to the store, and this might be their only cash to be able to get to the store. And being that the cards are down, now their whole month can be thrown off. Some people got to pay $25-$30 just to get to Walmart. Listen. Nationwide outage of EBT. You heard it. EBT is down. It's crazy. Nationwide.
I have a bottled rant because sometimes I have a really interesting thought, I think, and I kind of package this as like a thing to save up for a certain day. And I have one very particularly picked out for tax season. And the gist of this thought, I'll spoil it for you, is that, you know, we are in a situation where we have a huge demographic of people in the United States who produce nothing, and we can't do anything about them. We try to integrate them, and it fails. We try to educate them and set them up for success, and it fails. And we can't deport them because it's racist. So what do? We do the one thing which a lot of people complain about, but from a strategic standpoint is the only viable option. We pay them to not destroy things. We pay them a ludicrous amount of cash. A ludicrous amount of our GDP is spent, and our tax income is spent every year on giving people free shit to not cause problems for people who don't cause problems. And it is a insane amount of free shit that is cheaper than the dealing with the influx of the court systems, is cheaper than imprisoning them, is cheaper than trying to deport them. It is like a huge chunk of our tax income every year goes to giving the most problematic and least productive people in the country a stipend to sit in front of a television and on TikTok and eat free shit and do fucking nothing, because the alternative is to actually deal with them as normal people and suffer the consequences of that. And it's like a threat. It's like a veiled threat. You hear all that noise in the background as people clamor over their free shit. Like the second that shit drops, it's like civil war. It's going to be like mass looting, mass rioting. People in the streets up in arms. Where's our free shit at? Where's our free housing? Where's our free food? Where's our free everything? Why doesn't EBT work? Nanosecond, that shit stops. It's going to be up in arms. And there's a lot more to say about that, and I'll save that up for a black pill rainy day IRS rant, because I did some deep dives. They don't want you to know this, but the Congressional Budget Committee actually publishes their reports on where our tax money goes. And if you actually look at that and you see where that tax money goes, you will be red in the face with fucking rage, because it's so obvious. Fixing the country is so fucking obvious and so easy. It would be so fucking easy to just overnight fix everything, but we can't do it because we don't want to be called racist. Anyways. There's that. And I'll consider this news just so that the ham gets more time. A while ago, I talked about the exodus of former employees of Zero Punctuation's parent company, Escapist Magazine. Aha, I remembered that. A bunch of people left because a guy called Nick Calandra was removed from the Escapist magazine. So the very few employees that it had left the magazine, effectively leaving it defunct. And they formed a confederation of like a creator union channel called Second Wind. And the mascot of Second Wind was basically Benyatsi Croshaw, who does Zero Punctuation, and he's been very popular for a very long time. He's one of those people who I hesitate to call him like Dark Side Phil because there's like a very negative connotation to that. But when I say he's like Dark Side Phil, I mean he's someone who treats the internet like a job. He does not treat it like a toy or something that's like a personal accessory to him. He gets online, he does his video game thing, he publishes it consistently. He doesn't really get involved into anything that would detract from his core product. And he basically just treats it like a 9 to 5 and is very consistent and has remained very much the same for however many years. It's more than a decade at this point. So a lot of people like him, and he has a very loyal user base that followed him from Zero Punctuation to or from Second. Actually, he did have to rebrand his product because it was like a trademark of the Escapist magazine. So now he calls it like Fully Ramblematic, which I think was the original name of Zero Punctuation before it was bought by the Escapist. It's like what he called his stuff. So he kind of like retooled the format a little bit more and changed the aesthetics just slightly to avoid like a trademark dispute. And all of his fans basically followed over from one to the other. And I think he had a lot of public support too, because this was a very much like fuck you to the corporate leech that was depriving him of a percentage of his profits. So now he got to keep more of his own money. And it was sort of like a YouTube union where, you have these people working as where it's like I think they bill it as like an employee owned group. So every one of the creators owns like a percentage of the company. And they split it more fairly without a management tier. Sounds all well and good, right? How could you not like that? It's basically Publix, but for YouTube. That's pub subs are great. So what could possibly go wrong? Well, as it turns out, Sebastian Ruiz, I don't know if that's Ruse or Ruiz, who ran Cold Take for Second Wind, has resigned due to Nick Calandra. And I'll read his statement. So I remind you that Nick Calandra was the guy that they all quit in unison to protect because they found that his ousting was unfair. And then the very first person to leave Second Wind did so because the guy that was fired is apparently incompetent. So this is what he has to say. This looks like a screenshot from a Google document. He says, "When I joined Second Wind Group, I was under the assumption that we were forming a team of..." By the way, his writing for this, I read through this already. It's very good. He's a very adequate writer. So it's kind of scathing. He says, "I was under the assumption that we were forming a team of creatives with equal value and equal say. Individual creators would oversee their personal series, and the group would decide how to run the business together. It is plain as day that we have recreated the toxic corporate environment we abandoned, led by a petulant wannabe CEO who overspends, overpromises, underdelivers, sows division, tarnishes our image, asserts his creative vision, or rather creative blindness, and sabotages anyone's attempts to correct him, all while he fails his most basic duties, joyrides around the world, clout farms, and expects the community and Yahtzee to foot the bill because Nick Calandra tanks our YouTube revenue and makes us undesirable for sponsors. It is beyond incompetence. Nick Calandra operates in bad faith to serve his ego, and this group lacks the attitude and process to appropriately deal with inaction and inability to deliver the core capabilities of our roles. The board of directors lacks a knowledgeable enough majority to see even the most basic Google searchable errors in Nick's farcical directions and use their personal feelings as a substitute for information, even when presented with dumbed-down versions at their repeated request. The rest of the owners have little knowledge of what's going on, and I don't fault them because that's the whole point of the culture of isolation. There aren't enough leads at once thinking there's a problem. The rest of us don't know the problems, therefore there are no problems. All of my personal attempts to make Nick see reason are ignored. All of my attempts to make the leads aware of Nick's behavior are brushed off with minimal action. All of my attempts to raise concern for our systemic issues with leads are put off until after problems occur. I refuse to be subjected to this behavior any longer. I believe I have done everything in my power to address the issue for over 6 months, and I want no part in preying on the community's goodwill and Yahtzee's hard work simply because we can't run a business. At this rate, we don't deserve to run a business. Consider this my formal resignation effective immediately." So it seems like the socialist union of YouTubers has fallen apart, or is in the process of falling apart, because the creative people don't know how to run a business. Shock, Q shock rather. So it seems like Zero Punctuation's corporate leech who fired this poor innocent boy who didn't do nothing wrong might have had the business experience necessary to determine when there were problems and cut fat where it was necessary. Um, I don't know. I think I was supportive of them just because I thought it was really shitty that Zero Punctuation was owned by the Escapist, and I thought that's kind of bullshit that Yahtzee basically runs the company through his show, and nothing else that they've done has ever been successful. And then they also own the reins to his product. But now you can kind of see like there was a point to it. He wasn't just the guy that was running Zero Punctuation wasn't just a leech. He seemed to be somebody that could identify issues and get rid of them. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I feel like my point that I was going to make in regards to that is that the reason why Yahtzee could treat this as like a 9 to 5 job and just put in the work every week consistently and not have to think about anything was that he had someone who took a cut, who managed all the bullshit for him, and who managed the company for him. And that was sort of their agreement. Yeah, okay, I get to put out a 5 minute long video where I talk about a game and I don't really make any salient points. I just make stupid jokes at its expense and then call it a day. And I just avoid controversy and you make sure that the checks keep cashing. And that was their agreement. And then eventually, because Nick Calandra left, everyone's like, wait, the fuck? I know Nick Calandra. I don't want this guy to go. And then they put him in charge, and it's like, oh, fuck. Nobody knows what they're doing anymore. And now I have to run a business. I can't just make my fucking video. I also have to create corporate decisions that affect everyone equally. Then I have to deal with the bullshit and the fallout related to that. Yeah, so that's a pain in the ass. Yeah, the Escapists made all sorts of heroes. Movie Bob, Jem Sterling. Um, who else? Isn't there more? There's more, right? Chat, tell me. Yahtzee has said he doesn't want to do overhead and just make videos. Yeah, for sure. It's a lot easier that way. Nick Calandra got way too involved with the Sweet Baby Inc. and Stellar Blade stuff. He was he was the one who got someone's website taken down from Wix because they listed journalists who support Sweet Baby. Then fuck them. Yeah. How about this? How about you just make fucking YouTube videos? How about you make YouTube videos and you don't fucking dox and censor people who you disagree with? Sounds like an idiot. You only like Jim Sterling due to being a feeder. I maintain that Jim's videos up until a certain point are very watchable. I used to listen to them as background noise like a lot because he's put out like hundreds of videos. It wasn't until he like properly tuned out that his videos start getting like there's like a thing where as Jim Sterling's videos started as his personal interest in video games started to wane, he started injecting more and more stupid bullshit in all of his fucking videos. And it reaches like a critical mass at some point, like right around when he tunes out, where the videos are mostly stupid bullshit and very little video. And yeah, I did like his old videos at a certain point. Matt Pat. I don't even know who Matt Pat is. I've heard that name before, but I don't have any clue. Jim Sterling is the real reason Josh hates trannies. No, I people don't know this if they're new, but the Kiwi Farms tracked tranny shit on Tumblr like years before it entered mainstream. I don't say that to try and sound like a hipster or whatever, but no, we had the receipts going back like a half a decade before other people even noticed that there was a tranny issue. Game theory. Okay, I know that. Cool. That's about it for the news. It's not even really news, I would say, the second one stuff. That's more in my sector than the news. Let's see. Oops, I want to hide this so you don't see my epic lineup. Let's make fun of Keffals some more. I feel like that's necessary. Mm, did I cover this? I don't think I did cover this. I will make fun of it, though. Let's listen to Keffals for 2 minutes.
Sad to say.
Did I talk about Keffals? I might have. I'm going to make fun of it a second time. I don't care.
But sometime next year is going to be my last stream. The more time I've been offline, the more friends I've made in Ireland, the more I realize that I could be happy, the less tolerable all of this is. Because this space creates so many people like Xander Hall. Like, this isn't a Xander Hall thing. Like, this entire industry makes people fucking insane. And I'm done. I'm tapping out. I just don't want to do this shit anymore. Like, my psychiatrist basically told me, like, I need to quit my job. So
Tipster with the tip. It used to be that Tipster had the tips related to the hot goss that Keemstar and Tommy C would cover, but now he's turned a new leaf. He's no longer the drama Tipster, he's the giving Tipster, who gives and gives and gives to his favorite trans creators, hoping that in the far-flung future they will maybe fuck him. Tipster says, hello friend, can't stick around, but I hope you're doing well. Don't let this nonsense get you down. Keep on keeping on and enjoying life. Heart emoji. Aw, the new Tipster is so sweet. He's so nice and selfless. What a great guy.
I'm still going to be streaming until next year. I don't know when the date's going to be, but I can't deal with this anymore.
Dude, when he looks dead onto the camera like this, he kind of has the facial features of the Chud. You know what I mean? He's got like the deep set like cheek, what do you call those, like wrinkles right there? He's got the Chud look.
I don't like dealing with the harassment. I don't like dealing with the death threats. I don't like being swatted or harassed or stalked. And I have a life outside of all of this that I'm really happy about. I have friends, I have people I love, I have hobbies.
I've been informed that they are called nasolabial folds. So his nasal labia is huge, is what I'm trying to say.
I don't want to fucking do any of this anymore. And this is my sole source of income. And I am choosing to be poor over this because this makes me so fucking miserable.
Good. You suck. I love the characterization. When I say dumb shit on the internet, people talk about it and make me feel bad about myself. That's basically murder if you think about it. I should be exempt from any and all consequences to the things that I say. I want to participate in the public forum, and I want to make discussions, and I want to make money and revenue off of having my opinions be heard, but I don't expect anyone to actually retaliate or say anything that I disagree with or make fun of me for my opinions. I basically want to be able to get away with doing whatever I want as a job without any kind of negative input as a result of that. Cool, bro. Sounds nice. I can't wait. What do you think his job's going to be? What do you think this guy could do? He's never had a job. He's never worked, ever, in his entire life. He cut his dick off as soon as he turned 18, and he went straight into porn. He had he had a contract with a eunuch, transgender fetish site, which basically paid for his sex change operation because they had a thing where it's like, here's the T-girl getting pounded in the butt before they became transgender, and here's them getting pounded in the butt after they became transgender, and that has like a nullification fetish appeal to like real degenerate perverts who actually want to see the penis get lopped off. So that was his first job, was getting pounded in the butt so that someone would pay for his dick to be chopped off. Then he did literally nothing for years, and then he became a communist politician. He was kicked out for stealing money, if I remember correctly. Then he became a pornographer again. He tried selling tranny fart fetish femdom porn, where he would say, "Give me all your money, you little pay pig slut. Don't you want me to fart on you?" And then he would make fake farting noises. Remember, they're fake farts. So even in his fart pornography career, he was still doing an inadequate job, going. And then even the fart fetishists who wanted to see a tranny fart in their face were like, those are fake farts. And then he went directly from being a tranny findom fart fetishist into being a Twitch streamer for kids to talk about transgender issues most affecting trans youth, where he tried to become an activist for sending DIY HRT bathtub human hair and contaminated vials of estrogen to children. Then tried to shut down the kiwi farms and failed catastrophically, epically, and became addicted to crack, and then spent 100,000 Canadian dollars on crack cocaine and laced with fentanyl, and then went to a rehab facility, and then left rehab, and everyone hated him because he sucks, and nobody can deny that he sucks. And now he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go get a real job. Like, doing what? Are you gonna like clean toilets? Are you gonna go to Subway? Are you gonna become a sandwich artist? Can a communist fart fetishist become a sandwich artist? I wouldn't want Keffals making my Subway sandwich. You think this motherfucker knows how to put on the banana peppers? I specifically asked Keffals. I say, Keffals, I want a lot of banana peppers on my Subway sandwich. He's not going to give me the right amount. He's going to give me like a little amount just to spite me because I'm a cishet male. That's fucking bullshit. Subway's expensive now. I'm not getting no $5 footlong. I want fucking banana peppers on my sandwich. So it's disgusting, really. Sanitation. I mean, Keffals is like in chronic pain. He's one of those people that says, my stink ditch hurts so bad. I'm in chronic debilitating pain. How are you going to give this guy a mop and broom and say, sweep it up, Jan? We got a shart incident in aisle 5. We need you to sweep it up. How's he going to do that? His neovag hurts too much. How can he do that? Maybe some kind of office job, but Keffals can't manage anything. I'm trying to imagine Keffals as a secretary. Like, okay, bro, here's what we need for Locale LLC. I have these contracts coming in for that deal. I have these documents coming in that need to be signed and sent to this address. And then I have these contracts coming, or I have these forms coming in for the lawsuit that I need to make sure that you review before they're being sent off. And then I need this money dispersed to this account because they need it. Like, you think Keffals would be able to manage that and be like, okay, let me make sure that this is read through, make sure you get this signed, make sure I mail this out to them. He couldn't do that. He's got psychomotor retardation. He can't fucking talk. He's like so slow in the mind. Like, how the fuck is he going to keep track of all the things I need sent? And that's just for like me as like a private executive assistant. How the fuck is he going to do that for a company that has constant stuff needing to be done? I think maybe he could work at like a dog shelter. That's pretty easy, right? And there's all dogs and cats that you can just pet at any time. And you can fill their dog bowls up with food. And as long as you change it, you just got to hose down the kennels every so often. And then you got to feed them, and you got to pet kitty cats. Maybe. I think that would be it. Go work at a dog shelter. Get bit by a shit bull. I think that might work out. No, my chat doesn't seem to like that. My chat's in open revolt. Do not send Keffals to the dog shelter. Those poor pupperinos would be heckin' abused by Keffals. I don't know that. Sorry, my internet cut out. I fixed it. Sorry, I went on a really spicy rant. I guess you'll never get to hear it now unless you listen to the archive. U.S. politics general, but not about the news, mostly about the idiots involved in U.S. politics. Two particular idiots that you may be familiar with. Someone named Scrump Monkey, who I'm not familiar with, so if this is a weirdo, give me a pass on this. He says, the Democrat PAC progressive victory, it's a clunky sentence. It's a Democratic PAC, which is a political activist committee, basically a slush fund for politic money, named Progressive Victory, agreed to pay political streamer Sandoval $4,000 in an undisclosed transaction. Scrump Monkey continues with his opinion, saying, this is a disclosure violation and one we found out on previously. Progressive Victory pays thousands of dollars to buy content creators. This is now irrefutable. Brianna Wu and Progressive Victory have been buying up incompetent streamers for low 4 digits using DNC money, with both parties keeping it out of their disclosed financials. This is illegal. Everyone who streamed with Wu/Progressive Victory has questions to answer. So a Progressive Victory is a 501c4. You're probably familiar with a 501c3. 501c4 is a social good charity. It is not a charity that works directly for a charitable cause. It works for enacting societal change. And the rules of it are basically that you can spend the money any way you want as long as it's towards this societal change, but you have to disclose your disbursements if they're over a certain amount, and you also have to you also cannot benefit yourself. So if you're running a 501c4 societal welfare fund, if you make $100,000 and you also do streams, and your goal is to pay streamers that align with your politics money to support them, you can do so, but over a certain amount you have to disclose it. And Brianna Wu could not pay himself for that, even if he qualified under their disbursement guidelines, because of how the structure is. So that's basically it. That's some of the only rules. And Zandahal complains and says, actually, the guy continues, this is illegal. Everyone who's streamed with Wu/Progressive Victory has questions to answer. Zandahal says, I have messaged Brianna, in all caps, I have messaged Brianna myself. When you are back online, we need to have a conversation about your future employment. If I am saved, it will be no thanks to you. If I am fucked, it is your fault for not making sure they paid me. You swapped the fucking numbers and they weren't able to pay me because of that. All caps, really hurting. So the $4,000 number, I've had a lot of trouble figuring out what the fuck they're talking about, but it seems like Xander Hall got $4,000, and this might be an overpayment. I'm not sure what the payment limits are for the 501c4, but the way that... Sorry, I'm very hungry right now, and I'm struggling to think of what the name of the guy was. He's the guy that he's the moderator that super chats me $1 just to make fun of me, like every stream. What's his name? He characterized this as being that Brianna Wu just fat fingered the numbers in his accounting. Haramburger, that's it. That's the guy. Haramburger characterized this by saying that what likely happened is that Brianna Wu fat fingered the numbers and gave him 10 times what he was supposed to by adding in an extra zero, which accidentally violated IRS regulations for disclosement, and put the entire company and all the slush fund into question. Okay, so that is that. Okay, so this is actually directly related to Brianna Wu, while at the same time not having anything to do with the previous topic. This episode is very weird in that the topics I've got lined up to talk about kind of flow into each other, but they don't actually collide at all. It's a very weird thing. So this is Brianna Wu and Tipster, who have both so far gotten an honorable mention. And this is a completely different collision of them. and this is a discussion about the boxer. So I did not talk about this in the news segment, but I will give you a brief coverage of it. The person's name is Emain Khalif from Algeria, and he is transgender. So I don't know what the fuck is happening in Algeria, but they apparently have transgender boxers fighting in the women's competition. And from my understanding, what happened with transgenders in the Olympics this year is that transgenders are banned in every single women's category except boxing. So swimming, banned. Shot put, banned. Gymnastics, banned. Boxing, not banned. It's almost like they specifically carved this out because the people who run the Olympics want to see women have their skulls cracked. And that's exactly what happened. Emain Khalif showed up at a women's boxing tournament, knocked around a woman for 40 seconds. She broke down in tears and just quit. She walked out of the ring and abandoned her position. And then the tranny was promptly declared victor and moved on to the next stage, and that became a big thing in the talking points. So now, of course, on Zitter, they're discussing this, and the two greatest minds of our generation, Tipster and Brianna Wu, are butting heads. I've not read this yet, so let's see what they have to say. Brianna Wu says, I know this is an unpopular opinion with some trans people, but it is time to retreat to safer public policy ground. We are going to lose this fight badly, and it's going to fuel a further assault in the elimination mission to destroy healthcare access. Trans women in sports like chess, esports, and pinball, yes. Trans women in sports where physical advantage can affect outcomes, no. Black people have had to be pragmatic in the fight for civil rights. Gay and lesbians had to be pragmatic too. Focus on trans public policy that helps people the most. So to be absolutely clear, men dominate women in every sporting category, including ones such as esports and pinball and chess. The highest women's ELO is much, much lower than the highest men's ELO. I'm not going to make any derived opinions about that, if it's a actual mental quality or if it's a matter of lack of interest. But them's the breaks. Women's chess tournaments and men's chess tournaments are gender segregated because the ELO that they play at is extremely distinct from each other. Sporting is no different. There are a few sports, I think, where women excel over men, but anything that involves muscle or reaction time is just a no-go. They can't compete, which makes sense. I mean, men are supposed to be the ones that walk after the mammoth until it collapses from exhaustion and then stabs it in the head. That's what men are for. Women are at home picking the flax, making the rope. It's just a different thing. Women are very diligent, and men are supposed to kill things. So I don't understand the argument at all. And Brianna Wu is extremely correct in this, where if trannies were smart, which they're not, they would concede on some things. They would say, okay, well, this tranny and women's sport thing is, because I saw a chart and I don't know. Okay, first of all, to the guy in chat saying that the Imam Khalif is a intersex or otherwise not transgender person, I would like to point to you Exhibit A, his cock and balls. So in case there's any confusion, this is the boxer. That is his cock. That is erect because he just punched a woman in the face and it made his dick hard. So I want to be clear. We're not talking about some confusing, effeminate-looking or masculine-looking woman from Algeria or an intersex person that has a confusing chromosomal standpoint where it's hard to decide which category they fit into. You're staring at his erect penis from punching a woman in the face and making her cry. So now that we've transcended over that bridge, we can progress in my elocution, okay? So yes, trannies are not sitting there thinking, okay, well, we have to take the L on some things. This is a very emotional thing, and women, for the most part, women are more sympathetic towards transgenders. They just are, which is a point of contention in the alt-right, where women are the enemy because they support transgenders more often. They voted for this; it's their fault. So therefore, with that consideration, it would be a very, very bad idea to do things which directly impact women, such as raping them, jacking off and publishing videos of them jacking off in the women's restroom, fixing webcams to the changing table in women's restrooms so that you can see naked children, punching them in the fucking face, aborting them from all women's categories of sports. Those kinds of things negatively impact people's perception of you as a group. And trannies are not smart enough to be pragmatic, as Brianna Wu says. And Brianna Wu consistently in the last couple of years has been a voice of reason when it comes to, hey, trannies, do you want to like stop the rise of like the far right? Do you want to like not do you want to not support TTD directly? Here are some basic steps where you can make yourself more tolerable. And then the trannies go, oh my god, Brianna Wu is like a doormat, is like a conservatard. What's the one where it's like if you're too sensible, they hate you? True scum. Brianna Wu, evil. And he's just being honest. Like, do you want people to not hate you? Step 1, don't punch them in the face. Don't break their skull open. Don't rape them. Oh, true scum. No true Scotsman, Brianna Wu. Okay, retards. Let's see. Is there spam? There is spam. Do I need to get like another mod for I do. Who can I mod in the kick chat? Well, they're trannies advertising. Janny trannies advertising. Discords, and this displeases me. Sweep it up. Mod Brianna Wu. Ooh, that's a good idea. Oh my god, there's so many people talking in chat now who want to be mods. Judy Fender, I just tuned in. My room is ready. Bro, based. Okay. Ban anyone spamming. That's it. If it's just like spam, I don't care what the message is. It's just spam. Okay, now there's a second message to this, and then I think we'll finally get to the content that you, the vying public, the ravenous audience of my stream want the most, and that is the tipster content, the most important content. So Brianna Wu continues and finishes up by saying, I know this woman is not trans, but she failed a gender test and was allowed to compete because of trans public policy in the Olympics. I'm talking about public policy in this tweet. This is a political problem. We have to deal with it. So this is what I mean about the intersex thing. Like, he has a dongus that he's just swinging around the faces of people. I don't know how you can say, oh, he's not trans. Like, you have a dick. I don't know what standard you want to come up with to decide if someone is a man or not, but when they have a dick that gets hard when they punch women until they cry, that's probably someone you can put into the man sporting category. Tipster says, in reply to this, Imam Khalif isn't trans. I think that is in regards to... It says cisgender. This is such bullshit. He has a Y chromosome. I don't give a fuck. He has a Y chromosome. He has a dick. It gets hard when he punches a woman in the face. Case closed. Why am I so fucking logical? Why do I... Like, these people are like... These retards have dedicated their entire lives to being retarded and exploring the art of being a fucking retard and talking about this retarded shit. And then I just come in, call me Gordian with a machete, and I'm just like, BAM! That's a fucking man. He's got a dick and balls. He's got a Y chromosome. Doesn't belong in women's sports. And then the fucking retards are like, we have to delineate between the intersex trans folks and the regular cisgender trans folks. Like, come on, you're being retarded. Boom, cut that knot. Fuck you. That's what I gotta say. Gordian in. Brandon Lewis says, listen, tipster, I've had enough of your smug shit off of Mount Sinai. I don't need you to explain trans stuff to me. She's included because of the rules for including trans people. Stick to streaming Resident Evil and leave the public policy to the adults. Listen, Tipster, you're a fat butterball piece of shit that couldn't even get a crumb of pussy from Keffals. Don't you even open your fucking mouth to me, you dumb cunt. Get down on your hands and knees and suck some cock, you fucking loser. That's funny. Brianna should be more like this more often and make him more tolerable. Nicholas the Oreo says cook, and Brianna decides to oblige him. Nick the Oreo comes in and says, please give us more Tipster flambe. And Brianna was like, okay. He says, I swear to God, Nicholas, he needs to keep my name out his fucking mouth or I'm going to make a political project of pushing back and it's not going to end well for him. I've really had enough of these smug, loud, stupid people. I keep ignoring their bullshit and they keep pushing me and they fucking push me. That's funny. Brianna Wu basically saying, yeah, I'm going to be the end of your fucking career, fat boy. I'm going to spit roast you. I'm going to end you. Tipster replies and says, you're allowing yourself to be a useful idiot to far-right anti-trans rhetoric. The truth hurts. Maybe do a little self-reflection if it bothers you so much. How? I don't understand. Everything that Brianna Wu has said in the last couple of years regarding tranny shit and how people need to be, like, just be more sensible. Like, nobody would give a fuck if it was just, like, dressing up and playing pretend. But it's all the weird shit that you insist on doing after the fact. But they can't help themselves. The trannies just can't because they don't dress up because they want to play dress up and live that lifestyle. They do that so that they can fuck with women in weird ways. By masturbating in the public restrooms and by taking their jobs and by punching them in the fucking face until they cry in the Olympics. That's what they want to do. That's actually the goal. And then Tipster responds to the message to Nick Dorio and says, this is what happens when you try to allow yourself to be a tool to spread anti-trans propaganda. The worst people start to agree with you. I mean, isn't that the fucking point? If you're trying to, like, progress something, because remember, this is how dumb they are, by the way. Do you remember what it was with, like, the gay rights stuff? Remember, gay rights was not accepted in the 90s. It wasn't accepted in the early 2000s. It's kind of incredible to think about. But in the last 20 years, opinion went from like 90% of people not supporting gay marriage to it being enacted, forced to be constitutional by the Supreme Court in Obama's first term in 2008. Here, okay, listen, let me phrase it this way. I know how to phrase it. What was it? It was like Overmeyer or something was the court case that permitted gay marriage in every state. And that was, let me get this right. Hold up. Gay marriage Supreme Court ruling. It was Obergefell v. Hodges, and that was in 2015. So that was at the very tail end of Obama's second term. So to put this into context, in 2008, in the general election, and this is the best fucking way I can put this. Gay marriage was a proposition on the ballot at the same time as Obama in the general election in California. So when you went to vote for the president, the state of California said, hey, we also have these public referendums. Please vote on them since you're at the polling place anyways. So all these black people turned out in fucking mass to show up to vote for Obama because he was going to be the first black president. And then they're reading down the poll and says, hey, yo, you want gay marriage and shit? And all the brothers were like, fuck no, we don't want this faggot shit in California. And they voted no on legalizing gay marriage in California. So the year that Obama was elected, gay marriage was rejected in California because black people turned out to vote for once. That's how unpopular gay marriage was just in 2008. And then in 2015, you had Obergefell v. Hodges. And that was the Supreme Court ruling that mandated the legality of gay marriage in all the states across the country, not making it a state issue anymore. So in the less than eight years between Obama being elected and Obergefell, public opinion, I think even in 2015 at Obergefell, the ruling was, it was still like 50% of Americans in public polling did not support gay marriage, and now it's just like the dam is broken. So things changed that quickly, and it was because of the Trojan horse, where they kept saying, "No, you don't understand. It's not about forcing it on people. They just imagine this, imagine two beautiful women in love, lesbians, which are hot, right? You like that, right? That's what all gay people are, just beautiful lesbians. And imagine one gets hit in a car crash, tragic, and she comes in to see her partner that she spent the last 8 years with. And she says, I need to go see her. And she says, sorry, she's comatose. And you're not a direct relative, so you're not allowed in the room. But we've been together for 8 years. And basically, they decided to fix the whole thing by tearing a monkey's head off and throwing it at the Titanic. No, I'm just kidding. I realized I went offline. Where was I? And nowadays, 15% of people just identify as non-gender conforming in public schools. So, yeah, that's where we're at. Oh God, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with my internet today. I'm sorry. Just one of those days. Next, on the tip, Brianna Wu got community noted, saying that Imam Khalif is actually a heckin' valid cis woman, which is not true. She has high testosterone. Could it be because of her cock and balls? Could her cock and balls be the reason why she has higher than normal testosterone, chat? Difficult to say. I'm not an expert on these things. I don't have a medical license or whatever. I think it might be the cock and balls, chat. I'm not sure, though. Here's why I left the left arc is coming any day now. I really, really doubt it. If you don't know, Brianna Wu was actually the son of a conservative Republican. I think he was like a huge Republican donor. His family is wealthy and very embedded in the GOP. And he says he was disowned because of being a tranny. Just tip whining. I hate the tipster. I need another video of him crying or something. I need a video of him. What's this? Wait, hold up. Let me find. Oh, I don't know where the clip is. I was thinking of the clip where Tipster is like throwing all of his anime in the trash. That's a good clip. Very brief Chris Tyson update. So the Chris Tyson stuff has evolved beyond the scope of this stream. I will say this, that people have published archives of his Discord, and he was very inappropriate in it, very weird. He said a bunch of weird stuff that's getting circulated, and the gist is that it has now escaped velocity and is causing Mr. Beast himself, Jimmy New, hashtag Jimmy New, and people are going after him, going after Amazon and his company, because he is a huge company, are freaking out. And they're sending cease and desist letters to people hosting the archives. Nathan W. Says, the website that hosted the Chris Tyson from Mr. Beast Discord leaks was taken down yesterday morning and served with what we can only assume is a cease and desist. They terminated everything to do with the website and repository with no notice. Since then, several people have attempted to re-upload these files and have been met with the same fate. We will not stop until these files are published and remain available to the public. So people have re-uploaded the archives directly to the forum. I have not received any correspondence in regards to Chris Tyson. The cease and desist is a really bad idea, I think, from the corporate perspective, because what is it saying? It's saying that because if the issue is if Mr. Beast's company is sending them on behalf of Chris Tyson to take them down, then it kind of implies that we're in the shit too. It says, yeah, we're trying to take these down because we know they're bad for us, the business, and therefore it's worth the effort to spend lawyer money to remove these from the internet, which is effectively, as far as I'm concerned, an admission of guilt. It's hashtag Jimmy New, but in the form of a cease and desist order. So again, I haven't received any email from this, and I think that's in part because they're only being dispersed as a chat file. Someone posted a way to search these on GitHub, and I suppose I could archive them, archive that search thing where it's available on the site. I may be willing to do that because it's like I'm not afraid of Mr. Beast. Like, what's the cease and desist for? What tort are they claiming? Discord has a more valid copyright claim than that, but as far as I'm concerned, the ramifications of a multi-billion-dollar company discussing inappropriate things with minors is of public interest. It has a creative use. So, I mean, I'm already being sued twice for copyright. I might as well be sued 3 times. What the fuck's the difference? And I think that, honestly, if Mr. Beast did decide to sue the Kiwi farms, I would benefit. I think that would be good. That's kind of risky to say, but I think if there's any way to further inflate the lawsuit fund and get more eyes on the Kiwi farms, it would be a multi-billion-dollar corporation trying to cover up their sex pest freak employees' chat logs. So just know, my kneesies, I am a ride or die nigga, and if they try to censor this shit, I'm already in it. So whatever. I have no reason not to be further ride or die nigga with this, okay? So far they've not done so. As far as the actual contents, I don't really care. It's not that I don't care, it's just more tranny shit. Apparently he at some point posted a video of his baby taking a bath to TikTok. And TikTok freaked the fuck out and deleted this and said that it violated their TOS because of child nudity. And he was like, oh my god, they're overreacting so hard. So it's like, I don't know. It's not really fun to talk about, which is why I'm trying to avoid discussing it on stream. But there will come a day, chat, I think, where I have to talk about that. Just keep moving along at a good pace. Okay, so this leads into... Oh, how could I be so foolish? Sorry, I didn't mean to show you tranny cock again. These are out of order. Yeah. How do I want to divvy this up? I already have this queued up somewhere else, I think. Sure, I'll talk about it. I have several things to talk about regarding Charlie this stream, so I'm just going to do them in varying order. Lilith Lavette, who of course is the famous Taiwanese tranny living in the United States, who was the official pet of Count Dankula for a while, said this in regards to Charlie. Charlie finally put out a video. It doesn't make fucking sense to talk about it in this order, goddammit. We're skipping it. We're in the Troon segment, but we still are going to talk about Charlie first, I think. I think that's the only way to do this. Just reorder everything. Fuck it. Fuck it. The first segment of this video sucks giant cock. It's extremely fucking boring. It's stupid. I will just skip it. Where are the chapters? There were chapters in this, and now there are no chapters. And then my fucking browser freaked out. What is this? Where are the chapters? Did he delete the chapters? He did. He deleted the chapters on this video. How the fuck am I going to know how to skip ahead then? Let me try reloading it. That's crazy.
Heavens to Betsy.
Okay. How the fuck am I going to skip through this then? I have been so epically owned by Charlie. Look at this man. He knows. He's like, yeah, I did delete the fucking timestamps on my videos so that you can't skip through it. What are you going to do? Drama retard? You're going to listen to the entire 25-minute video? I don't think so. Fucker. Bitch. Cry about it. Cry about it. Okay, I guess I will. Let's see if I can use the transcript to skip through this. 2x speed. Oh, jeez. See, look at this. Holy Toledo. Oopsie poopsie. Yeah, okay. Cool. There are 3 parts to this video. There is the one where he explains what he means. I guess I just won't fucking play it then. He wins. There are 3 big parts where at this point he says what he actually means. At part 2, for like 10 minutes, he explains how Sneeko is a pedophile. And then at part 3, he explains his stance on the issue altogether. So he reiterates that, and actually, I will give him some benefit of a doubt. I'm not going to completely shit on him because in his defense, and I think that this is a legitimate defense, he asks Sneeko to clarify, because I guess he was going to do a drama video on Sneeko, and he was like, there's no fucking way that this guy is actually saying that adult men should be able to fuck 12-year-olds. Like, that's preposterous. There's no way that that's happening. So he sends Sneeko a message and says, hey, I want to chat to you about, what you're saying to get some context, because I just can't believe what I'm hearing. And Sneeko says, yeah, okay, we'll talk. Right now I'm doing a live stream. Let's chat on Discord in a couple hours. And he says, okay. So they have a Discord call. And Sneeko says, do you mind if I record this? And he says, sure, go for it. But what he didn't know, and was not told to him, is that Sneeko was actually live streaming their conversation. So this was a debate where one person knew they were in a debate and the other thought they were in a genuine conversation with another person. So Charlie was effectively lied to, and Sneeko was being duplicitous for the sake of getting internet clout. So I want to make it absolutely known that Sneeko is a pedophile. He's a brown Muhammamdeen pedophile that wants to rape kids and thinks that child rape is cool. And the reason why he thinks child rape is cool is because he's a brown Muhammadeen who worships a pedophile. If you don't know, if you somehow don't know, the Muhammad, who claims to be a prophet, married a 6-year-old and raped her at 9. And when he died in the arms of his child bride and declared her to be his favorite. So Muhammad's favorite wife of his 3 wives was the child bride that he raped at 9 because he's a pedophile. And Sneeko, a brown Muhammadeen pedophile himself, worships this pedophile as part of his culture and religious identity. So if there's any confusion whatsoever, Sneeko does not belong in civilized countries. He belongs south of the Mediterranean, south of Gibraltar, south of Istanbul, and should be away from society where these things are not acceptable. Charlie, as a Happa, mistakenly believed that this brown Muhammadeen pedophile could be reasoned with, and opened into a conversation with him where he was shocked that the man would simply say, yeah, I think that as soon as a girl starts bleeding, it should be okay for men to have sex with her from any age, as long as her father consents to it. Charlie was kind of blindsided by this and engaged in some argument tactics that made him look really bad, in part because a brown Muhammadeen pedophile published them as sound bites. And now I must turn on Charlie because he's an idiot. In his excuse, he says, what I didn't know, I was not supporting the surgery, but I was supporting the introduction into the path of transitioning as a child, which isn't really any better. And in the last third of the video, he explains, I am fully pro LGBTQIP+. I am fully for children finding their own gender identity. I am fully for puberty blockers and transitioning as a child. The only thing I am not for is for child genital mutilation surgeries, which he seems to mistakenly believe doesn't happen. He says that they're extremely uncommon. As if there isn't a person named Jazz Jennings who had genital mutilation surgery as a child on national television. The surgeries are common. There are hospitals. I think there's one hospital in Ohio. Is it St. Jude's that does the child genital mutilation surgeries for any kid that asks for it? There are a enormous number of young girls who are having double mastectomies for purely superficial reasons as soon as they hit puberty. So Charlie's an idiot and Sneeko's an idiot. Sneeko's also a pedophile who worships a dead pedophile that raped a 9-year-old girl, to reiterate myself. And they're both losers. His video does add a lot of context, which I think is in his benefit. And he wants to step back from drama. In fact, I noticed that when I clicked his channel, he had put out 2 new videos just in the last day, a Doritos tier list and a brand new 1 hour old Marvel's Overwatch. I don't know what the fuck that is. What's Marvel's Overwatch? Did they put out their own like hero
I've
shooter?
heard good things about it. I mean, it looks
Rivals. Well, okay. I don't know. I've never heard of this before, but Charlie put out a video and he said that it's not bad. I trust him on this. The other thing that he did that I didn't touch on because I did things out of order like a fucking imbecile is that he left his own podcast. And I will read his message. So this isn't from him actually. This is from the podcast. He says, or they say, "Hello everyone. Effective immediately, Charlie has made the decision to leave both the official podcast and Red Thread. He wants to go on an indefinite hiatus to scale back his time spent on the uppercase I internet. I know. I can feel my insidious tendrils affecting Kaya in particular, as he now spells the internet correctly. This is a direct result of my influence, and I take full credit of this. To scale back his time on the uppercase I internet and the recent hate. We obviously wish him the best, for everyone to respect his decision, and for all to note the show will always be open for him to drop by and talk shop should he wish to return. We know that this will disappoint some of you, but we're still committed to making the entertaining show you're familiar with. The show will go on. The official podcast, Red Thread, and Criminally Stupid are not going anywhere in light of this announcement. The contributions to the official channel and or will be continuing as usual, bonuses and all. No change in schedule or pace for other than no Red Thread this week due to Isaiah being on holiday, with even more stuff on the horizon. So the official podcast specifically, we may consider a replacement in time depending on how things go. But for now, we're going to be continuing the show for 3 remaining original hosts. In the event we wish to return as a 4-host format, we will discuss the possibility of fan favorite candidates or someone who we think fits our vibe and style. Feel free to leave us your suggestion as well. No, it's not going to be Boogie. And they're producing episode 400 this week. Should I be 4th chair chat? I'll just do. I made this joke in the thread, but I'll just do my my Charlie impression for the entire thing. Hey everybody, it's me, Critical. I came back to the official podcast again. I decided I couldn't live without you. I made a full reversal of my prior opinion. TTD, fuck trannies. I spent all night watching Medicare's video about penis scrotal flap vaginoplasty, and I decided that doing that shit to kids is the most immoral fucking thing I've ever seen. So I think that just completely obliterating them from the face of the planet is the direction that we should go in now. Penis boogers, ball sweat, moist dildos. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me on. Is that about right? Did I nail it? Can I fill in? Perfect. Oh my god, the chat's going wild. I think I nailed it. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to pop my fingers while recording. That's so trashy of me. I suppose this is related to the Chris Tyson thing. I'm just going back and forth, I guess. Prism 42 recorded some things from Chris Tyson's private profile. Revi Translate says estrogen dealer goes hard, and Chris Tyson says the profile pic pairs nicely. And it's is that anime that guy synced me to? Hold up. Dude, I recognize that face because someone made a meme about me. Let's see. Was it Joshua Moon voices and anime? Is that what it was called? It was some of the funniest fan art that anybody has ever made me. It may be gone forever, though, as all things are. Aha! It's true.
Every day, sweetie pie, I'm going to make a woman out of you, just like I always wanted. I'm going to make you the beautiful daughter that my mommy always wanted. We can get rid of that ugly thing down there, my precious daughter. We can undo God's mistakes through the power of mommy science. Sure can.
It's not the same one. I just assumed it has like that same blank dead eye, I guess. Ava says, aggressively fighting the urge to say my face. In regards to Jackie saying, hey, Rep Linen, could you kindly confirm which toilet you'd like this person to use? And then Chris Tyson wants him or her, I think it's a her, to shit on his face. Very confusing. This is another post saying, I got a new therapist and he asked me to, have you ever been tested for being on the autistic spectrum? Because you exhibit a lot of autistic behaviors and traits. So that's interesting. I don't know what to do with that. Chris Tyson posting with a selfie with cut marks on his leg. It's probably from a cat. Chris Tyson posting from someone harassing them. So these are the cut marks. Let's see. Does it look like a cat? Kind of. Interesting place, though. Chris says, it's not because of you, you dumbass. It's because I'm famous and anything I tweet makes news. And I want to be able to tweet random shit like this tweet telling you that your life is worthless and this shit makes you look like a pathetic loser, lol. And this is a tweet DM that says, bro, I have at least 10 friends following you and 2 burners following this account. Why block my main account, then go protected? Thanks for the gotcha moments again. If you stay off the lowercase I internet, I go away. It's weird. By the way, I have facial recognition software. Your account you make, any account you make, I will find. It's weird. Chris says, the universal trans femme rule of meeting another trans girl over the internet is it will almost certainly immediately become flirty and or sexual. Lamau. Yeah, because you're both perverts. Cool. So that's how he behaved in private, I guess, or in semi-private. It's a really funny avatar, by the way. Oh, okay. And then we're back to where we started before I got all fucked up on my timeline. Before I had a little fucky wucky. Chris Tyson. No, sorry, Lilith Lovett, different tranny, says, attacking Charlie for being pro-LGBT instead of attacking the anti-age of consent pedophile shows people where their priorities are. Shiho says, children should not be getting their breast or genitals mutilated. A rare anime take that's agreeable. M. Mopo says, they both had repulsive opinions. True, the rare fuck them both position. And Forsha coconut pilled, which I guess means voting for Kamala Harris. Let's see if this is a retarded post chat. Really exposes just how mentally damaging transphobia is. Genuine bona fide fucking retard. He continues, where trans people become perceived as bigger threats to children than actual pedophiles. I think you're missing the forest for the trees there. I think you're missing the coconuts for the coconut trees, bro. Ex Mortis says, Sneeko is a dumb fuck, but saying that children should be able to do irreversible damage to their still growing bodies is not a good look either. It shows how transphobia has really rotted the brains of people. These people are more upset with the anti-trans stuff than the fact that Sneeko is essentially advocating for pedophilia. It shows how far Twitter has fallen. I mean, everybody knows Charlie. Nobody knows Sneeko. Sneeko is an irrelevant brown pedophile who worships a pedophile god that raped a 9-year-old. Nobody cares about him. The people who do care about Sneeko are fucking retarded. But everybody sees Charlie. Like, if you use YouTube, you'll see his stupid fucking face. Inevitably, you will see it. It doesn't matter if you only use YouTube to watch Cocomelon videos with a baby. Like, eventually you're gonna see the Cocomelon situation is crazy. Has anyone seen this video about the wheels on the bus? Like, it's a fucking natural law at this point. If you use YouTube, you will see Charlie. Nobody sees Sneeko. Okay, nobody gives a fuck. And Uwu Du Horan son, which means you son of a whore. And then he's got an Austria flag and a trans flag. I don't know how I feel about that name. That's pretty fucking disgusting. The amount of people who are more egg ants transitioning than child fucking really makes me wish for bad things. This person is fucking mentally handicapped. This is a genuine. If you took this person out by force and threw him in a metal room and you said, okay, do this IQ test, you get a result that's hovering above 70. I don't give a fuck if he's ASL or what. Interesting opinions that are. We'll see what you have to say next week. Okay. So this is an update to the Illuminati lawsuits. I briefly discussed Illuminati a long time ago. She is a fat hoe, and she has been involved in numerous scandals that I have completely forgot about because it was something that it was one of those things that I crammed for a stream for and then just let escape from my brain. But I do want to show you a picture of her because she's a fat hoe. And I'm particularly against litigious people in general. This is our litigant Illuminati who ran a YouTube channel, I think about conspiracy related shit, maybe breadtuber adjacent. What does it say? As a YouTuber who seems to enjoy drama, she lost a housemate, Oz Media, who went to post pictures and videos to expose her. She runs multiple YouTube channels accounts. She harasses her followers to donate to her, and she has publicly blasted at least 2 subscribers who wish to stop their subs due to financial reasons. Okay, so she's just... I was going to say that she's like a bread tuber, but I think that lazy leech is more accurate. But she's being accused, and bear in mind, when I read these, she's being accused of sexual harassment in a lawsuit. When you read allegations in a lawsuit, you should be especially critical of them, and you should expect to see evidence before you make an opinion. Because in litigation specifically, there is something called absolute immunity, or absolute privilege. Absolute privilege. Absolute privilege is a U.S. legal concept that anything filed in a lawsuit enjoys absolute privilege from causing another secondary tort until the litigation is resolved. So if you open a lawsuit, and this is a real thing, you could, for instance, let's say that you are not an American citizen. It is completely possible for you, as someone from Russia, to mail in a lawsuit alleging to be a 13-year-old girl who was kidnapped and raped in the state of Hawaii by a man living in Kansas, and therefore you are seeking damages. That court will handle that, and that court will assume that is true, and that defamation will be public record. And then you, as someone in Kansas, will have to make yourself viable to the courts of Hawaii and pay to defend yourself. And there's nothing you can fucking do about it. The courts are wide open to being exploited. Legal documents are effectively a free reign to say whatever the fuck you want and make it public opinion and give you no way to adequately address it, because talking about your lawsuit just makes you even more vulnerable to damages. It's just a retarded fucking system. The whole country is fucking stupid. And you don't have to prove anything. You can file literally anything you want, and you don't have to prove it until a year into your litigation. So what I'm trying to say is that these are things that you should take in with a grain of salt. The deeds of trust were recorded as liens against Mr. I guess this is redacted. Mr.'s residence on January 3rd, 2023. Miss Christie and 9 Point Holdings, which is Illuminati, each received benefits from Mr. Blank's expense under circumstances that would make it unjust for Miss Christie and or 9 Point Holdings to retain benefit without compensation to Mr. X. Further, due to the failure of Miss Christie, her lawyer, or business entities to itemize and account for the amounts included in the deeds and trust and the promissory notes Mr. X was forced to sign, the debt secured by such deeds of trust should be subject to an equitable accounting for Mr. X, allowed to leave to amend to set forth all appropriate claims for rescission of information of such instruments of debt. So basically, she was a clumsy retard. Within days of his resignation from Pyramid, Miss Christie began attempting to woo Mr. X back into her web of toxic relationships, inviting him to sex clubs with her new boyfriend, John Doe, aka Tyler, and frequently propositioning Mr. X to have 3-way sexual encounters with her and Tyler. Mr. X rebuffed Miss Christie's advances for a threesome and to attend a sex club with her and Tyler repeatedly. Not satisfied with Mr. X's rebuffs, Miss Christie and Tyler showed up at Mr. X's residence late in the evening on or about January 20, 2023, unannounced, and entered his residence without permission through the garage, for which Miss Christie knew the access code. Miss Christie and Tyler were both, upon information and belief, inebriated after spending time at a bar. At the time, Mr. X was asleep in his bed, naked. Oh my God. This is why you never sleep naked, chat. Always be ready for an encounter with drunk, belligerent women. Miss Christie and Tyler made their way to Mr. X's bedroom and climbed into the bed with him uninvited and without permission, while Mr. X was still asleep and naked. Mr. X, still groggy from sleep, how the fuck did they make it all the way into his bed before he woke up? Someone's opening your garage door. You should already have gat. Should already have your Beretta Fitty cow ready to go. You should already have your headset on with your earphones and everything. This guy's not practicing his drills enough. Mr. X, still groggy from sleep, was surprised and startled by the presence of Miss Christie and her new boyfriend Tyler in his bed. Miss Christie, having had training in BDSM and as a dominatrix, is well aware that an unconscious or sleeping individual did not have the capacity to consent to sexual contact. Despite Mr. X's less than fully conscious state, Miss Christie and Tyler engage in non-consensual sexual contact with Mr. X, including touching Mr. X's intimate parts, including his penis, scrotum, and perineum. Oh no, she tried to go for the butthole, and that's when he was like, what the fuck? I gotta get out. This is a serious situation. Both Miss Christie and Tyler touched Mr. X with their intimate parts, including Tyler with his penis and Miss Christie with her pubic area and breast, all for Miss Christie and or Taylor's sexual arousal, gratification, or abuse of Mr. X. See subsequent section. Both Miss Christie and Tyler further sexually assaulted Mr. X by engaging in sexual penetration of Mr. X by performing fellatio on him while he was still groggy and not fully awake. The defendants did so knowing that Mr. X had been sleeping and was physically helpless and that he could not and did not consent to their conduct. Christie and Tyler were each physically aided or abetted by one another, and their conduct described. Such conduct by the defendant constitutes sexual assault. Following sexual assault, attempted to dissuade Christie in seeking any further sexual encounter, Mr. X gave himself chemical burns and sent Ms. Christie photos suggesting he had stress or allergy rash. What the fuck? The conduct of Christie and Tyler complained of herein is outrageous, unreasonable, intolerable in a civilized society against all bounds of decency, and a normal person in the community would find such conduct offensive, annoying, and to be a clear violation of Mr. X's rights. Further, the conduct by Miss Christie and Tyler was done by them knowingly and intentionally to deprive and to recklessly disregard for the rights of Mr. X, such that it was substantially certain to cause Mr. X severe emotional distress. Now, was he suing for IIED? I would assume so, based off that statement. He had a reasonable expectation of privacy to sleep in his own bed, in his own home, without being intruded upon and uninvited by unwelcome persons climbing into his bed in the middle of the night. Interesting. Flat out, allegedly, raping a bro, saying, "You're not going to give me that D? I'm coming for that D. I know the passcode. I have an accomplice. We're sneaking into your bed at night. We know that you're a really, really deep sleeper. You won't even notice." And she came what she wanted. She got what she came for. Is what I'm trying to say. If I wasn't retarded, imagine being raped by that. You know who she looks like? She looks like a really fat. Who's that Jewish woman? Kaya Rychek. Am I off kilter on that? She looks like a really fat Kaya Rychek. Maybe the allegations are true, chat. It's a shame. Men just don't get... Men's rape accusations are just never handled the same as women's, chat. Okay, I've never seen this guy before. His name is Bill Jensen, a.k.a. Shane Boyle, Christianity Hotline. And he gets trolled by an A-log and screams. Let's hear it, chat.
Me so I can we can catch up.
So, guys, super chats. This is Bizbaz the Spaz donates $5 and says, "Stay mad, you fucking pussy."
Mad, you fucking pussy.
So, his Christian gaming stream had been interrupted by someone sending him a video that he did not like. The A-log sent him a video of Ronnie to Bill, causing him to flip out as a result. It was mostly a failure of Bill for not being able to identify the video in the queue and John not being around. I don't know who Ronnie is, so I can't clarify. I can only react to his reaction, which is pretty funny. Let me turn this down a bit because it will be loud. Oh, it's Ronnie McNutt. They're trying to send him videos of the Ronnie McNutt suicide, and he doesn't want that on his screen. That's why he's freaking out.
So much for that.
Hey guys.
It's someone posted the video that he was sent. It's just the bit before he kills himself on a green screen, so it's not the actual video.
I was able to stop it.
This is an extremely weird. This is an extremely weird mixture of Ronnie McNutt, anime, and Christian gaming and autism. This is like a very unholy combination. What's the through line of anime, Ronnie McNutt, Christianity, and autism? It's this guy's streams apparently. I don't know what this
Epic
is.
Gamer 2005.
Probably gonna be loud though.
You say Ronnie McNutt is scary, but you know what the more scary thing is? You're preaching, you're talking about somebody that had no idea who you are, and you're basically you have this sense that you think it's funny to talk about someone that never knew who you were, because you think suicide is a funny thing. I'm guessing, I'm assuming. You think it's funny that man.
How does this guy have almost 500 subscribers? It's like $2,500 a month, isn't it?
Just admit it. Admit you're a piece of trash. And you know what? Maybe I'll have a little more respect for you. At least you'll admit it.
What's he supposed to admit? That he's a piece of trash?
It's unbelievable.
I was expecting a video. I guess another one popped up, but he aborted the queue. This guy's thread is very, very small. It's 7 pages. It's in the Prospering Ground still. This guy is like the curator. This guy, he loves this guy apparently. He loves that he screams when he sees a guy about to kill himself. He should probably ask if the OP is updated. He should probably ask for it to be moved out at this point. And I do have to pee, so I'm gonna put a longer video on and give people some time to watch it and enjoy it. Give it the attention it deserves. King Cobra JFS is single. For too long, King Cobra, the sexy goth bad boy of Casper, Wyoming, has been held down in bondage, in chains, by an evil bog witch named Jessica Boyle, also known as Naked and Laughing, I'm pretty sure. Everyone was happy for Josh to finally end his dry spell with the bog witch. However, her continued presence in his streams and in his life was a negative contribution that people quickly grew tired of, and they knew that the breakup would be messy and painful. But my boy, Cobes, has found a way out, has told her to cancel her plane ticket, don't come back to Casper. She's not welcome in the trailer that I think his father has set up for him. I'm not sure. I think what really happened is that his father said, dude, this bitch is like fucking crazy. If you want to live in my trailer, you can, but she can't. And then the time away from her has made him see the light, and he's like, okay, you know what? My dad is right. Pops is right. She gotta go. And so he's announced that he's single. And after announcing this on stream, apparently, before this video, she like blew up his phone and like went psycho at him. So he's really over it already. Let's see what he has to say, chat. Let's see what he has to say. Let's try to load the video, chat. Let's try to load the video. There we go, chat. There we go.
YouTube, it's your boy King Cobra JFS, and I'm officially single again. The reason why I chose to break up with Jessica Boyle is because I'm sick and tired of her emotional manipulations. Right now she's on Twitch talking all this shit about me, and it's like, I don't appreciate it. Instead of being like, oh, I know, how about if I wait till I'm off Twitch and me and Josh could talk about this like mature adults and not drag the entire world into it? she does the exact opposites. Quite frankly, Jessica is emotionally manipulative. And on top of that, on top of being emotionally manipulative, she's easy to troll. And she is so fucking delusional, dude. Every time we'd have a fight and I try to interject my thoughts, she would get mad and say, I'm not letting her finish her thoughts. And then when I would put the microphone on mute and just let her talk, why are you ignoring me? So I'm like, which is it? Jessica claims to be all about communication. So how does communication work? One would add that if I talk, you talk, I talk. It's called back and forth. It's called communication. And then it's like, if I didn't let Jessica finish her thoughts, I'm talking over her. All this dumb shit that she'll accuse me of doing. And then if I don't say anything, I'm still a piece of shit. And I'm done. I'm physically done. She's on Twitch right now spreading lies about me and trying to derail my fame because she knows I'm right. And it's like, Jessica, you want to know why I broke up with you? Because you did it to yourself, love. You did it to yourself. I blocked her mom's number. I blocked her number. I blocked her messenger. I blocked her from Facebook. I've unfriended her and changed my status to single. And it's like, Jessica, honey, no guy's going to want you because no guy's going to put up with your crazy bullshit. And isn't it funny that when I bought Jessica that fire opal ring, she was all crying like, oh my God. I'm like, Jessica, what's the matter? And she goes, oh, these are happy tears. You're the first other half to buy me jewelry. So I'm like, wait a minute. I'm the first boyfriend that Jessica's had that's bought her jewelry just because. That's what guys are supposed to do. And I'm like, you know what? I've been very patient with Jessica, and when she accused me of shit that I wasn't doing, and then gets me kicked out of my apartment, and then spreads lies about me on her Twitch right now, I'm like, that's strike three. Good luck with what you're doing in life, Jessica, because I'm done.
We wish Jessica luck with her future endeavors. That was actually my reply to Keffals when Keffals announced he was quitting the internet. I said, I wish Mr. Keffals luck with his future endeavors. Well, good for Josh for standing up for himself, I guess. He discovered what BPD was. He discovered that you can't really talk to crazy. You can't, yeah, I don't know. She's not like she has nothing going for her is the issue. So, and she's not funny and she's not interesting to have around on stream. She's just like a detriment to everything. So, hopefully she stays gone, and hopefully a true suitor or suitress to the goth bad boy throne can be found, can be placed for him. Chat. We wish him all the best. I think that this was his announcement. He says on Facebook. So I broke up with Jessica. I can't take her crazy shit. She's emotionally unstable and abusive, and she refuses to take responsibility for her actions and blames everyone else for her problems. I do not want drama with her, nor do I need or want it. Which is, I don't know, all the stuff that he said about Jessica is very like mature sounding for him. He just kind of realized like, yeah, this isn't like a healthy relationship. She's not like a good person to have around. I don't really need this in my life. So good for him. He's always been an anti-sex pest, anti-weirdo person. So it just makes sense that he knows how to handle these things maturely, amicably, without hostility and resentment. Because he is such a high caliber, high quality male. Chat. Let's be real here. He is a catch. Cool. Yeah, I hope he doesn't get back together. That's my fear too, because it's very easy, I think, for him just to kind of accept like the status quo. But I don't know, if she stays away from him, it's going to be easier for him to get away from her than like if she was like one phone call away. But if she's like living away from him and isn't in Casper, then it's going to be much more difficult. So this kind of bleeds into the Sneeko segment, but I have another brown pedophile freak to talk about. That's Andrew Tate. Before he went by Cobra Tate or whatever on Twitter, he went by of Wudan and made these comments, which I'll briefly talk about. He says, I make porn. I made so much porn that I made millions. You consume porn. I am a god. You're a fucking loser, but we knew that already. Learn how to make money by making porn here. So literally his first grift before he became like a university, what was it, like the University of Manliness or whatever the fuck it's called? He was trying to teach guys how to get into the porn industry. So his audience has only barely changed from like wannabe porn stars to like wannabe men. He says, I come on Christian girls day after day. Imagine you and all your boys pick up machine guns and run around your home country telling the police to fuck off. Eventually the police do fuck off and you can do anything you want. You at that point, you can point at females at random and force them to have your sons. Fun. Wife ain't listening, need Islam, feminism, Islam, divorce raped, Islam, woman took your kids, Islam. There's no problem the modern man faces in the West that can't be solved with Islam. I'm about to be heavily involved in the cannabis industry, moving tons per month from a remote Romanian village. But this story starts in Germany with the second longest river in Europe. So he's basically just talking about his sex and drug trafficking ring. I have sex with women a few times for free, proof of goods. Therefore, she either 1, gives me absolute control of her life and complies absolutely. 2, works for me on webcam and makes me money. I have zero interest in sex for sex sake. It's a tool I use. Which is effectively confirming that he's a sex trafficker, as indicted in Romania. The Taliban will fix all of your problems. Beautiful women work for me and make me millions. They obey me because they love me. They clean my house and make me coffee and get naked on demand. That's how I make over $300,000 a month. I own a webcam studio. It's no secret. I've never tried to hide it. And people try to defend him and say, oh, he converted, by the way. They actually believe that. In case you're wondering, he speaks with a British accent, which is pretty funny. He's like half black, half British. Don't give up on me now. Come on. Maybe if I switch. How have I been cucked by my own site chat? They fixed the fucking loading issue. Why is this wrong? It's just I just want to show you his shitty ass British accent. I just want to make fun of the British people, chat. Now?
So I'm on Twitter at the moment at ofwudan, OFWUDAN. Try and follow me on Twitter if you can, because it's where I'm most active. But my Twitter accounts don't last that long, so who knows how long I'll be there for.
So that's isn't it crazy? The British are so awful that when they have sex with black men, because they do, they create these Muslim rape apes that are like Andrew Tate. Pretty disgusting, yeah. Dr. Disrespect also came back onto Twitter. And his whole thing is that he's saying it's like 4D chess, like him being accused of grooming. He posted a weird picture of like him playing a chessboard against checkers. And then people made funny edits of this where the other side of the chessboard is like a little girl playing checkers. He's like playing against a child. Goku is saying, I heard you a pedophile, nigga. I heard you like little boys and girls, nigga. And Dr. Disrespect says, little brainwashed woke boy putting out Dragon Ball Z gifs with Kendrick Lamar lines. Got me big time. Is this you playing with a minor? He says, good one, she/her. The internet will never fix your real threat, depression. So he's trying to make a comeback. I guess, I don't know. Maybe our boy Eddie at Stake.us got him. He's going to hook him up with another kick deal. That's about it. That's all he did. The Rekita case has progressed slightly. There's a new filing, and it has been reduced to this the following bullet points by Autistic Right. 1. The hearing regarding custody. So there's 3 ongoing cases, to be clear. He is still being sued by Montegraph. That's a civil case, case number 1. He is being prosecuted by the state of Minnesota for drug possession charges and child endangerment charges. That is case number 2. Off in its own little world is the family court case, where he is basically suing his own children. It's kind of a weird thing how the child custody cases work, because it's independent from the criminal charges. It has its own rules. And it's sort of this weird thing where the state both takes custody of the child and acts in their well-being against their own parents. So it is technically like a state level thing, but it's different from the criminal thing, and it's kind of you versus your own kids, with your kids being represented by the government, which is why these sorts of cases have a very, very bad reputation in public discourse. But it is proceeding that way, and the bullet points go. There was a hearing on the 20th of May. Rekita preemptively stated that the children were not aware of any presence of drugs or drug use, and if they had tested positive, it was due to secondary exposure. Rekita says that he and Kayla spent the weekend cleaning the house like a bucko, and that the condition was far better than the original visit, which implies that he's admitting that he was living in a filthy shithole. I remind absolutely everybody that the laws of Minnesota would permit him to consent to the release of the body cam footage at any time. If Rekita reached out to Matthew Harden, who is an attorney licensed to practice in Minnesota, and agreed to sign an affidavit he would not even have to write, we could get the body cam footage very, very easily without having to wait for the state to enter it into evidence first. It would still cost money to get it redacted and put together, but he could do it. He could expedite this at a moment's notice. Rekita deliberately chooses, number one, to refuse to do this. And he doesn't just refuse to do this. He lies. He says that this is not how it works. You can read Minnesota law. It absolutely does work this way. He can consent to it. And from what I understand, everybody who doesn't consent to the release would be censored. So all the kids would automatically be censored by the state before we even receive it. Kayla and April would both be censored out. Like the way that it works is because of how the consent process works. For instance, there's a similar case where there was a bus robbery. And there was a big debate over if the bus CCTV should be released because of the privacy of the victims. 2 people consented to the release of the footage. So when the state released the footage of the bus robbery, they censored everybody except the 2 who were in it. So you could still see the robbery, you could still see the crime, but the footage was able to be released, redacted. So all we need is one person. Even theoretically, the cops could consent to the release of the footage. But for sure, Rekita could. And the implication would then be that everybody else would be censored. So if there's any kids in it, they'd be censored. They might even redact any segment of the video that has kids in it completely. I'm not sure how that works precisely. I just know that if he wanted to allow people to see the inside condition of his home and where the firearms were kept and his bedroom, and completely clear off any doubt whatsoever about if his kids were living in substandard filthy conditions, he could 100% do that at any time. At any time, at will, he could communicate to Harden, who he knows how to contact, and sign an affidavit to allow the release of the footage, which would be redacted for privacy for everybody except him. And he chooses not to, and he lies about it. He lies that he has the ability to do this. He 100% does. And he lies a lot. It's actually kind of shocking when you listen to him to hear how often he just blatantly, flagrantly lies about everything. Things that are immediately contradicted by public record, things are immediately contradicted by statutes in his own state that he's licensed to practice in. The dude lies like it's second nature now, which I think is a skill that any druggie picks up. There's something about drug addicts when they get addicted to something, they just pick up lying as a second language. It's really crazy. And he's very flippant about it too. He'll just make lies that could be contradicted in a second. But the effort that what the liar realizes, a professional liar knows, is that when you start lying, the amount of effort it takes for somebody to rebut a lie is 20-fold what it cost in time and effort to make the lie. So his thought process is, if I just lie continuously, nobody can contradict me because nobody has the time of a fucking day to sit down and really go line by line. If Rekita thinks I'm wrong, I challenge him to submit approval and consent regardless. Because if I'm wrong, then we'll submit it to the clerk and say, look, he consented to it. There's no reason to withhold it anymore. And then we'll either be told that's not how it works, in which case Rekita vindicated, lawyer of the year, figured it out, or we'll get what we want. And theoretically, if that happens, he says that there's no issue with the house. The kids were living in a good condition. Things might be a bit messy, but they were fine. There weren't any kind of a neglect issues at play. Should be okay. It's win-win based off what he says. But we all know based off the actual court records and based off of what's been submitted as evidence and basically implied correct by his own admissions, is that the house is filth and he definitely doesn't want anyone to see it. He's hoping that he can get these, he's hoping in general that they can get the entire warrant thrown out, in which case all the evidence collected in regards to the search itself would be dismissed from evidence. So it would never come out then without his consent. It would never come out. So the only thing that could happen, and actually this is kind of my conspiracy, is that I'm shocked that April, and I forgot to mention this because I didn't want to bring up Rekita just to mention this. April Imholt is also being charged with a minor drug possession charge. So at some point, the police went back and said, actually, we're going to charge this bitch too. And I think that the reason why they did that is that she's not playing game with them. They thought that she would just be a natural witness. Like she would come out and say, I didn't have anything to do with this. I was just here to do some coke. It wasn't my coke. I barely know these people. But now she's like intimately involved in Rekita's life, and they made a big public spectacle about it. So it's like, why the fuck are we letting her walk? She's not a cooperative witness. Might as well charge her too. Fuck her. So my conspiracy mind is that Rekita is trying very hard to keep April on his side because there is cash fucking money. I will pay her for her consent. If she wants to come out and say, I consent to the release of the body cam footage, I will fucking pay her for it. And so will Hambly. So will all these other people who are, drama vultures that want to get this footage. She has cash money on the fucking table, and Rekita has to keep her happy no matter what, because he does not want that footage to come out. He doesn't want it to come out in court. He doesn't want to consent to it. He doesn't want the only other person who could reasonably consent to it, which would be April Imholt, to consent to it. So he's got her fucking locked down, and he will do anything she asks. I don't even think she realizes. I'm going to put out bad juju just for the sake of it. I don't think April Imholt realizes how much leverage he actually has over Rekita, because Kayla, is the mother of his children. She's in, in for a penny, in for a pound, as they say. April isn't. April can walk at any time, and nobody would think any worse for her of it. In fact, she would get a charge dropped, probably, if she became a corroborating witness, and she would get cash money for her own defense. Her bond would be immediately posted by the quartering in exchange for her consent to get the body cam footage out and release with other people redacted, and we would know who they are regardless, but it would be out. So April Imholt, if she happens to hear this, she should know that she holds the chain. I don't care how the BDSM formula, polycule situation is organized, but the flowchart, the pyramid of who holds what and who has control over whom, is that April Imholt is at the top, the very fucking top. Zero reason to stick around and many reasons to go away. So Rekita better keep reading these fucking ads on his stream for 5G radiation protection for his home that Rumble lets you accept money to do ad reads for. Because the second that gravy train stops, she has many people willing to accept her with open arms and open wallets. The fucking nanosecond he stops being a benefactor. The fucking nanosecond. And the state would appreciate it too, I'm sure. So next bullet point. Following above, his youngest child was tested positive for cocaine. Sorry, I'm reading that like a retard. Was testing positive for cocaine and or associated metabolites at over 5,000 picograms per milligram at 500% or 500 cutoff. So 10 times the cutoff. Baldo attempted to go after those in the state of Minnesota who recorded the initial hearing and shared it. He believes it was contempt of court. Baldo wants all the hearings to be in person, likely in an effort to suppress the flow of information, i.e., so there'd be no Zoom conferences or anything. Baldo previously stated that all the court cases should be 100% transparent so the state can be held accountable. Oh, fuck! Oh my god, I need to tell Hardin right now that he's trying to get everything sealed, and we need to file the motion to open the case as soon as possible. I completely forgot about that. We may even be permitted by the court to send in a Kiwi Farms news correspondent to set up recording, and if that happens, I don't know what the fuck we're going to do. We're going to have to get someone who knows technology to go in and be our court reporter, and that might be Aaron Imholt. We might need to call upon the the Dark Jester himself and say, look, I know you're in the business. You know how to set up a recording booth. Can you go into the courthouse as the Kiwi correspondent and record it for us? I will listen. I might show up in person. I might fly back. I might send in Hardin. Hardin might show up with a caravan, and I'll have to guide him through over a call how to set up a video recorder and broadcast it to the internet. Listen, we have genuine public interest here, and it's going to fucking happen. And he can whinge about it all he wants, but we're making it happen. Baldo wants to go after those in the state of Minnesota who recorded the initial hearing and shared it because he believes it was contempt of court. Baldo wants all hearings to be in person. I already read that. Baldo previously said that the court case should be 100% transparent. Well, I know that. So yeah, basically he's a fucking hypocrite. He says, I want everything to be out in the open. Everything should be out in the open. And then he goes, no. I don't want anything to be out in the open. That would be bad. And then he just uses his children. That's fucking sickening, by the way, how he uses his children as like a defense. No, we can't have transparency in this case where I claim I'm being 100% transparent because that would be dangerous to my kids. Well, who was fucking doing cocaine around your kids, dipshit? He's so fucking dishonest with that shit. It's crazy. And then finally with Sectorite news. Brief update on the Ralph Amale. Ralph claims that he has beautiful handwriting, by the way. I'm sure that's not just an e-signature from Adobe. He has retained an attorney in New York to fight for his right to visit Cozy Rosie. So a man who makes no fucking money, who basically only lives out of spite right now, is trying his best to ensure that he has a privilege to annoy the fuck out of May's family, basically. In the same way that you can kind of like jam his finger into the ear of the Vickers and allow himself to see Xander like once every 6 months whenever he saved up enough pesos or whatever to make it there. He's trying to do the same thing now with May and the Morrises and try to make it so that once a half a year he can visit New York and kind of intrude upon their lives with his fat blustering. Didn't have any time to make for Rosie while she was living with him and would yell at May to shut that baby up. But now that she's gone and he's upset about her being gone and that she's capable of living life without him, he's going to try and once again intrude on their moving on by under the guise of parental rights. Sad, petty, vindictive, and fat man. And with that, I've actually perfectly made it to 2 hours. I can't believe it. I have some threads pulled up that I'm not going to read on this stream, but I think that one thing that I've done that has been a disadvantage or an ill service to my streams is that when people write threads, they tend to post these threads in the community happenings area, and then I never bother to read them on stream. So I'm going to try to make more of an effort to read new threads as they come in, because it would be a nice change of pace. It would break up like the usual suspects as they were, and maybe bring something fresh, chat, something fresh. I'll try this. Any Bossman update? Shit. I don't think so. I think he's trying. I don't get tagged for Bossman updates anymore because he's basically just cycling through and burning out all of his sponsors. He got kicked out of how.gg and is now working with, or was trying to work with, some CSGO Skinnerbox gambling site. So I don't know where he's at. He's basically just, fuck it, let's just pull up his thread actually. So I last read his thread at page 1195, which was on Sunday. And it's gone up 20 pages since then. Let's find the last video of Bossman Jack. Let's see where he's at. They're basically just posting GIFs of him, making fun of him. Okay, here's a video. No, that's like a meme. Clip of tonight. His literacy never ceases to amaze me. Okay, let's see what this is. Warning. Warning. Bossman Jack content coming up.
Oh, they can hide anything, bro. Well, they're not audited. There's no one watching them. Scouserk, whatever your name is. There's no one auditing it. You didn't know that? It's probably fair. Probably. With a V. Research what that is.
Probably.
Whole table law.
It's provably Bossman. Oh, he's on Rainbet again. He's trying really hard to get back his Rainbet sponsorship. He burned through them because he just had one of his crack-fueled spurg outs where he just said they're all rigged and shit. And they're like, well, why are we paying you to say that our casino is rigged? Fuck off. Dude, that's so many subs. That's like 1,600. I'm going to get jelly here in a second. Let's see that. 1,600 times 5. And I think that creators on Twitch get... That's $5,200 a month. Bro, that's fucking bullshit. That's a jip, man. How's he making so much? Oh, well. That's it. He's just on Rainbet. He's doing the same thing he's always doing. Okay, I'll now do the super chats, and then for outro song, I have a brand new, I think it's a brand new song or a brand new single, maybe a new album from Rome, which is the Luxembourgish neo-folk band. They made a couple songs. They made a song about Rhodesia, and they made a song about Kali Yuga. Not that one. There's 2 songs about Kali Yuga. They're both good, though. So I'll be playing that. All right, let's start with the super berries. Ballistic Characteristic for $20 says, hope you're having a good day. Can't watch live because I'm going camping, but I want to say I look forward to every stream. Well, have fun camping. Sounds fun, actually. Going out in the woods and shit. Kind of jealous, actually. They don't have pizza out camping, though. I guess you can bring your own dough. You can make like a cast iron pizza. It sounds good. Schneidberg Stein Goldman for $100 says, happy pizza day, and I'm absolutely famished right fucking now, so this is a torturous message, but thank you very much, Schneidberg Stein Goldman. Anime Sex Cope and Sneed for $10 says, nothing, continuing his streak of amazing super chat messages, a real improvement. It's kind of iffy at first, but he's been moving on up in the list. Wigger Wagner for 10 says, YouTube link, which I'm going to try to open up. I don't know what this is. This is an unlisted video by Rudolph Branchies. I'm very suspicious of this video. Like a Hotline Miami track. That's pretty good. If you remix that yourself, that's very comfy. Space Allen for 20 says Ham Jam. Thank you very much, Space Allen. I appreciate it. I see that you've timed your Ham Jam message to be in perfect sync with the chat itself. Good job. The false copy of Sunder for 2 says, how does your IQ compare to the American average? Please show this map for context. The state of Florida said that I had an IQ of 138. So that's higher than China, I suppose. Wow, 62, huh? Now, I was watching a video about how... Why is Honduras 52? What the fuck is going on there? That's crazy. China. What was I going to say? Watching a video about South Sudan and how... Or was it... No, it's just regular Sudan. And Sudan had... is having like the biggest humanitarian crisis in human history because 2 roving gangs of belligerent black men are fighting over control of a gold mine, and both sides are propped up by like the United Arab Emirates and Russia because they both want the gold, and it's like displaced like hundreds, like tens of millions of people, and there's more like children starving than in Gaza now, and it's just like a fucking catastrophe. And nobody cares because it's Sudan. And I thought that was very poignant because it's like, yeah, nobody cares. It's Sudan. Who gives a fuck? I don't know why we pretend to care about Gaza. I think the only reason why we pretend to care about Gaza is because ostensibly white people, the Israelis, are killing them. But when it's just 2 black people murdering tens of millions of people, nobody gives a fuck. Wigger Wagner for 10 says, I lost an angel last week. Chris lost his battle with drugs. Rest in peace. And there's another YouTube link. I don't know what this is. It looks like it's a stream clip.
It's all trap beats.
So this guy is like a stake.com, crypto.com sponsored gambling streamer who just belches into his microphone continuously. I hope I get to see him die on stream after hearing him burp.
Here we go, nigga. More cold, nigga. You already know, nigga. What I do, nigga. Hetero alpha god. I shoot you, nigga. I don't play games. I don't... Red eye, old... got a pack coming.
This guy just says fire. I don't know about that, brother. It's not quite as good as the first song. TB Deluxe for 2 says, Josh, you ever watch Bruce Rivers? He's the criminal lawyer. Who is he? Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And what does he do? He's going to react to all the self-snitching. Oh. No, I have never heard of or watched Bruce Rivers, the criminal lawyer. Sorry. Triskies for 2 says, Hail Jersh, suffer bongs, based and true. Bunker Housing for 5 says, so give us your take. Was there the attempt on Trump a setup or just an ordinary incompetence with the FBI acting as Thompson and Thompson? Kind of hard to say. I can imagine. I don't know. You know, the government is pretty fucking incompetent, but they do also want him dead. I can believe either. Honestly. I don't really have a strong opinion. It's like a 50-50. Like, the end result is the same. Cool for 5 says, please read 1 through 3, Book of Enoch, chapter 13. Okay. Then Enoch, passing on, said to Azazel, thou shalt not obtain peace. A great sentence is gone forth against thee. He shall bind thee. Neither shall relief, mercy, and supplication be thine on account of the oppression which thou hast taught, and on account of every act of blasphemy, tyranny, and sin which thou hast discovered to be the children of men. Bunker Housing for 5 says, I hope this stream will go to the bottom with what is between the legs on the boxer that beat a female. I am just getting more confused. Enlighten us, our most enlightened Kiwi Emperor. Oh, I did debunk this. I did explain that it was probably someone who has an intersex condition but still has a dongus and testicles injecting testosterone to roid up his muscles so he can beat women better. A real hero of Algeria. It's kind of humiliating for Algeria to submit such a person as a women's boxing athlete. Stupid fuck for 5 says, sell coffee. All the other douchebags do. I'll drink kiwi coffee and lol cow dairy creamer. Don't tip me. I do have an idea for that. Doc's found. I'll have to test it first and make sure it's good. Bro, listen, I need someone to juice me like $5,000 so that when I get back into the U.S., I can buy an espresso machine that has like premium copper grinders and shit. I don't know. I just know that there's like a entry level delicious coffee setup. I have to figure out how to cut dairy creamer out of my diet because I think that's what's holding me back. I drink way too much coffee with creamer. I gotta get some deluxe roasted coffee. Okay. Listen, if you're gonna coffee spurg, please do it by email or post in the Maddie thread, and I'm hard to limit paragraph limit. If it's like 6 paragraphs about fucking coffee, you gotta put that shit. Here's what you do: you go to Google or you go to Copilot on Bing, and you paste it, and you say, AI, make this letter 2 paragraphs, and the AI will give you a 2-paragraph thing, and send that to me instead. Doc's found for 5 says, I'm in Tennessee. I sent you an email Monday. Let me know if the thing in Florida doesn't work out. I have a list of unread emails. I'll get back to you for sure. Agent Herman for 5 says, I binged the entire card posting dog whistle series, and it's all your fault. Happy to help a fellow creator on YouTube out. Hope everyone enjoys the card posting content. Bunker Housing for 2 says, the Brits are finally going to riot tomorrow. Will this weaken your hard heart towards the British? No. They caused it. Why am I supposed to be happy for them? Oh, congratulations. You're rioting against the fucking thing you caused. Cool. Ace of Speds for 10 says, this is tax-free, so it will not hurt the economy. TWU. Unfortunately, a portion of your super chat will go directly into the mouths of hungry indigenous trans folks who need it the most, as ordained by your government. Red Eyes Black Dragon for 2 says, I can't believe that guy Justin is actually married to the legendary Pokemon Reshiram. It's true, he is. Unfortunately, he was also eaten and shit out by the legendary Pokemon Reshiram. Casting Couch Crab for 5 says, if you could take the red pill or the blue pill, which one would it be? I don't think anyone would choose the blue pill. Kind of makes you sound like a faggot. Bunker Housing for 2 says, you remember when that game reviews tranny said he was pregnant on Yahtzee's live stream? Yahtzee looked disturbed. You talked about it in this show. It was fun to watch. Yeah, that was Jim Sterling, bro. Jim Sterling was a co-worker of Ben Yahtzee Croshaw. And so when he decided to set up Second Win and invited his old co-worker to show up on stream, he thought it would be like, shooting the shit about old times and working for the Escapist. And instead, he got this seriously mentally deranged fat tranny hitting on him, like literally sexually harassing him and talking about making butt babies and shit. And Yahtzee, who's, I think, tries to avoid the internet like the plague, except when he uploads videos to it to make money, was actually like shocked and disgusted by the obvious and unignorable deterioration of someone that he had known but hadn't maintained contact with for over a decade. Yeah, I very distinctly remember that. Malacalypse the Younger for $20 says, for your consideration, next time you're on a useless mouths rant. Okay. It's a weird YouTube video.
If I had been born thousands of years ago, I would have literally killed to get my food. Would I be a criminal then? Walmart would be happy to replace each and every one of us with disabled obese EBT so that they could make more money. People go there every day and use our tax money to buy fucking Reese's Puffs to feed their fat retarded kids. It gives them all the energy they need to sit in public school for 7 hours every day and watch TikTok on their phone. And that kid is going to grow up and have 4 kids who do the same thing. And Walmart loves it. They love it so much. They get to have an army of fat weirdos rolling around on Mart cart buying cereal. And when I go in there, and I take a little steak for free, I'm the bad guy. Right. Okay. They force me to check out my own groceries. And I'm the bad guy. A dozen eggs cost $6 and I'm the bad guy. I'm losing my fucking mind over here. My ancestors would have killed in order to eat, and I can't even walk out of the store with it without consulting a robot who's fucking recording me with the camera 6 inches away from my face. I live in a desolate wasteland of tar and cement and I'm the bad guy? I'm the criminal? There are criminals all around us, they've done so much pure evil and I can't take a little steak? A little free steak for dinner? What the fuck is your problem, you dumb motherfucker?
They don't get paid. That's the issue. All you have to do is incorporate an LLC, and then you can sink your wages below the poverty line. Incorporate your house into an LLC. Then you too can be on EBT. Yeah, he needs to replace that AI voice with one of the other memeier ones, because it's kind of harsh. Is that Wormwood, the guy that does the comics? They made that video? Seems like it. There you go. I did watch the entire thing. It was interesting. I enjoy these kind of dystopian, like, mindfuck videos. Brown Boy Soup for 5 says, all censored words in your clips need to be the chirp or when the neighbor said, or when the neighbor word is said. I don't know what that second part of that sentence means. I don't like the chirp. It's too loud. Make it the prrrr sound. I like that better. Gormless Wonderful says, I've been told Yahtzee's books are actually great. He has fans who don't even know about his gaming persona. We'll save the galaxy for food and jam get high praise. I did not know that his books were considered really good. I've never heard that before. That is interesting. I hope he enjoys writing. Someone is reviewing all of Patrick Tomlinson's books, and they said that the arc sucked, but his second one is much better and is actually decent. I don't know. Maybe Patrick should have focused on writing instead of being a retard. Bunker Housing for 3 says, check out Miracle of Sound. There was a thing that is cropped out of the Escapist magazine. Some of his songs are good. Also good lyrics. I've heard of that name before, Miracle of Sound. Interesting. I can't name any other songs though. Rich Wet Pasta for 5 says, when is Smegma Titty New York review, Josh? That's fucking gross, bro. Come on. After YMS put out a video that I didn't line up for the stream, but he was talking about his channel now that Scott is dead. It's kind of sad. He also broke up with his black boyfriend. So he broke up with his black boyfriend. He's moving out of Atlanta back to Canada, I guess, and his friend's dead. It's a rough time to be a YMS. The false copy of Thunder for 1 says, Keffals saying his psychiatrist told him to quit his job and be thanked. Does Keffals tell his therapist about you? Oh, for sure. For sure. He will always remember the sound of my voice, as docile and weird as it is. Colst for 5 says, please enter your gender into the forum, writes in porn addicted. It's an interesting third choice. Maybe we can compromise. We won't have other, we'll just have porn addict. Holy Hal for 10 says, hope you're having a good day, Josh. You're my nibba always and forever. Thank you very much, Holy Hal. I appreciate it. Suppa for 5 says, Josh, why do you know all this? I don't know what that's in reference to, but I run a website that's very bad for your mental health, in case you're curious. Sneed McGee for 1 says, did Sam High say kiwi or can we? Kiwi. Like, blatantly, fucking obviously. If you disagree, you're retarded. Ace of Speds for 1 says, buy a pizza for your pizza. Ooh. What a wonderful idea. Nothing more than doubling up on it. What's better than more of a good thing, chat? Thank you. 11th Circuit for 2 says, took the bar exam this week. It sucked. The fact that even Rekita could pass keeps me optimistic. And then there is a Catbox link. I wish you luck on your bar exam. I don't know what this is. Then it's a bunch of hamsters, and they're all taking a test, it looks like. It's very cute. Yeah, I imagine the bar, it probably depends on your state a lot. Like, the states that are more desperate to have attorneys probably have easier tests. The ones that have a lot of competition, like California and New York and Florida, probably have really hard ones. Good luck, though. Hamburger for 2 says, it's $2, not one child, and not every message is made to make fun of you. Wrong again, stalker. This mischaracterization will not stand. Enjoy viewership in prison. Sorry, bro. I tried my best. Look, it's hard for me on a day-to-day basis to keep my mind together, but I do try. Wigger Wagner for 5 says, Josh, when will you learn? Even Ethan Ralph and Brianna Wu are both living tax-free pilled. Talk to your financial advisor about tax-free tips. Bro, I've been thinking about the charity for a while. It hasn't happened yet, but it's on my mind. One day, we'll think of a way to live tax-free. John D90 for 10 says, hey Josh, hope you're doing well and happy pizza day. Also, check out this short clip. The ending is great. Okay, let's see it. White people hiking versus black people hiking.
Watch your step. It's dangerous up there. It's hot out today. Have a good one.
Oh no! The chirp is coming. Coming. I don't get it. What's the point of hiking, though? I think it's just a setup to hear the chirp, I think. Umpty Madu for one says, 7% of the 23 budget was spent on income security and programs. I'd like to see a racial breakdown. How much of the 12% are tax negative, real potential to get the ADL to ban another number? The income security programs, you can find out, dude, all of them. Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, income security programs, those are all the same umbrella. There's also HUD, which is a huge percentage of things. They do racial breakdowns. It's all public statistics. And the average tax benefit of a black person, I think, is negative $20,000 a year. So every black person you see costs the American taxpayers $20,000 each every year. And that's it. That's the gist of it. The Lion King for 5 says, as a brown person who doesn't hate Whitey, I feel Wu's pain. Nothing holds minorities back other than other minorities being retarded. That's true, but there's a reason why they're called the median. Real Adonai for 15 says, hey Josh. Hi. What did Wolf Blitzer mean when he said this? And then there's a YouTube link.
Cafferty just pointed out so tragically, so many of these people, almost all of them that we see, are so poor and they are so black, and this is going to raise lots of questions for people who are watching this story unfold.
I think I mentioned that on stream when I was talking about hurricanes and Hurricane Katrina. Yeah, that's one of the best sound bites of all time. It's just funny because when you listen to him talk, he's staring at the footage and he's trying to fill out that 24-hour news stuff by just talking constantly, and he's just staring at what can I say? They're so poor, and God, they're really fucking black, aren't they? All these people are so fucking black. That's what he said. Whoops. Bunker Housing for 3 says, a guy had trading permit for animals but was transporting gravel. I hit deny faster than a perpetual hormones fuck up a kid. Glory to Akaristan. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, bro. Is this a reference to a game? I don't remember gravel and Papers, Please. Literally right over my head. Cobes for 10 says, how much do you charge for shower talks? What if I'm interested? Rekita bath talk recorded. And then there is a YouTube link.
Yellow.
It's Family
Hey,
Guy.
Quagmire. Hey, Peter, what's up? How much? Well, what do you want?
Nothing. I'm just called to talk. What you thinking about?
What do you mean, what am I thinking about? You called me.
I just wanted to say hi. So what do you do?
Kind of. It's kind of that, but there is actually something he wants to say. That's kind of how it works. Thank you. Call Dante for 10 says, Nicholas Diorio wants to be fucked by 2 trannies simultaneously because if he was fucked by just one, it would be side cucked. I can't speak to that. I don't know the man. I'm trying to lead Nick Diorio down a less gay and cringe life. Maybe we'll see a day where he's not necessarily associate with Tommy C and Tipster in my head. Kadoo for 5 says, we'll do it live. Fuck it. That's my motto. Every stream. Euclid Sneed for 5 says, it's also tiring, Sneed. You gotta keep optimistic, bro. You gotta eat that pizza so you can be more awake for streams and stay optimistic. David S8, thank you by the way. David S877 for 25 says, I have to go to the dentist so I can't watch live. Hope it's a good show when I get back. It's a great show. The greatest show. The greatest show ever. Thank you. Euclid Sneed for 5 says, as an Australian, I have a rational hatred for all Muslims. That's everybody, bro. Everybody has a rational hatred for Muslims. Rich Wet Pasta for 10 says, do more voice impressions. We've had 2 whole voice impressions so far this stream, and we need more. I do them when they're relevant. I can't force it. Blurp Bloop for 2 says, lol at Chris Faggot Tyson crying about being famous. You weren't famous before tuning out. That's why you did it in addition to being a porn twisted deviant groomer. I mean, he was on the Mr. Beast thing, which was like huge. And was his Mr. Beast like personal friend. He was kind of famous. I can believe there were people that were trying to fuck with him just because he was so popular. Or on such a popular show, rather. Ghost of the Internet Lumberjack for 20 says, hey, Jersh, thought you might enjoy an AI song about Chris or the same channel's one about Ethan Ralph. Okay, bro, I'll play a bit of a song.
There once was a girl named Christine in fair Ruckersville where we lay our scene. Now for trolls and fakes she might have been quite the sucker, but no one can deny she was one real motherfucker. Christine, go play your Lego today.
I did hear this. I think you sent this directly to me on the forum. It's pretty good as far as the AI. I'm the best at making the AI music, but it's pretty good for AI. Thank you very much. He Deedly, for 1, says, Illuminati looks more like proto-Abby Lee Miller from Dance Moms. Bro, that's a fucking... As if I'm sitting here watching fucking Dance Moms, dude. Come on. I draw the line at Honey Boo Boo. I don't watch no fucking Dance Moms. Red Eyes Black Dragon, for 1, says, who's Ronnie McNuts? Is that a comedian? It's the guy that blew his face off with a shotgun, bro, on Facebook. Blorp Bloop for 2 says, mass EBT. It's not cheaper than mass euthanasia. Something to think about. I mean, it is if you have people protesting and causing a fit and shit. Agent Herman for 20 says, Irate Gamer just uploaded part 1 of his Silent Chew investigation, only 4 minutes long. Please watch. I need some way to like deal with YouTube videos on the super chats. I guess I'll fucking watch it. Okay, this dude has really... I can't believe he only has 5,000 subscribers. He's so famous. This guy has really glommed on to the medallion thing.
So today, I'm at this secure location where I have a Sonic Chew necklace in hand. I'm going to find out if it's cursed, if it's haunted, through my...
This is the same level of production quality and editing as like any History Channel ghost busting video so far. This reminds me a lot of like a History Channel episode. We're at the scene of a sanatorium where they said thousands of people still haunt to this day.
Methods. As you can see,
He even rented like a storage locker to contain the medallion in. This is crazy. He really is going all out.
Set the stage to put the Sonic Chew necklace inside this secure case, and we're going to test this out to see if it's haunted or cursed or what have you. So here we have a Sonic Chew necklace that a fan sent to me.
Ooh, Lavender Town music. Now we're talking.
14, back when Chris Chan first started making these, and I think that is key because the earlier ones are probably more potent with if he has dark entities that are attaching themselves to these things. So I want to open this very carefully, and I want to treat this as a real cursed object. I don't want to take...
This guy is so full of shit. He's very funny, though.
Take all the precautions I can with something.
But this is like 1080p, 60 frames per second. This is better than this is like, you're paying for History Channel HD.
Like this. So, all right, here it is.
Oh, you can't see it 60 frames per second, but it is.
In this case. Oof. And as you can see, it's a little broken. And like I said, I want to treat this like an actual cursed item. I don't want to actually touch it. As you can see, it's a little broken. I don't know if they happened in shipping or if it's because it's so hot. It's very hot out here today. So there we have it, the Sonic Chew necklace.
What is that weird rubber string that it's using for like the cord? That's bizarre.
Box here. Now this thing does come with a certificate of authenticity. As you can see, it says 2000.
I have an identical one of these. Chris gave me a certificate of authenticity for the iPhone that I have that he sent me.
14. It's one of the first ones that he ever made, and it's number 104 out of 200. So as you can see here, I have a variety of tools that I want to test out on this medallion. Hopefully we'll get something. That's what I can't wait to see. All right, so for the first test, I have some EDI meters. These register.
Oh, he's going to check and see what its thickness level are.
Electromagnetic spiking that a spirit will do if it's in an area. I want to strongly advise anyone from doing what I'm about to do, because I'm going to...
He's a professional chap.
The demons that are attached to Chris Chan through this necklace. And if you don't know how to purify yourself from things like this, attachments like that, this can be a dangerous situation. Alrighty, so this necklace I know is kind of connected with Chris Chan. And I know he's got some demons. I'm going to use this necklace as a gateway.
This looks like they cost like $200 or something, like off of Amazon. This looks like expensive. It's like that scene in Jurassic Park where the kid picks up the night vision goggles, and the Jewish lawyer guy is like, "Are they heavy? Then they're expensive. Put them down." I'm looking at these. I'm like, yeah, they look heavy and they look expensive.
To Chris Chan to interact with these dark entities that are hovering around Chris Chan. I want you to spike one of these meters if you are here now.
He did buy 2 for accuracy. Where they going?
Any kind of reading. You want a platform? This is your platform. You got a lot of people watching you.
We're all watching, chat. 3,000.
Want to make yourselves known? Let's do it. Spike one of those meters. Let's have a conversation.
That one says 93 and the other one says 90.
Do you have anything to say for yourselves? Did you have anything to do with Nick Rekita?
They're very static right now, chat.
Did you have anything to do with iDubbbz? If you're hanging around that necklace, spike one of those meters now.
The antenna are broken off the medallion, bro. You gotta put the antenna back on.
Alright, doesn't look like I'm getting anything with the EDI meters, but I do have more tricks up my sleeve.
Oh, to be continued. There'll be more of this. So they don't spike the EDI meters, but maybe they use some sort of other frequency, chat. We will find out in the next episode. I guess I'll watch all these now. I have to. Thank you. Blurp Bloop for one says EBT is cheaper than the research into a time machine to prevent slave ships from ever landing on the shore. Something to think about. Probably, to be honest. Stephen Rith for 2 says Suffabaldo. Thank you. I think he is. Literally nobody. XO for 2 says saying a child can consent to changing their sex and saying a child can consent to sex are almost the exact same statement, and I don't get how someone can be for one but not the other. It's called mental retardation. It's called being a fucking moron. Tetrabax for 20 says, not all drug addicts lie. Some of us tell the truth because it's more unbelievable, and therefore nobody puts the effort into challenging it. I mean, maybe. A lot of them like to lie to hide their addictions and shit. Thank you. Crispy Legs for 5 says, party hat emoji. I don't know what about, but thank you. Tetrabax for 20 says, I like the fresh ideas. There's lots out there, and your perspective is interesting. I'm glad you think so. Thank you. Tetrabax for $100 says another YouTube link, but I'm sort of contractually obligated to watch this one now. No warning of what it is either. Reaction to Little Caesars Pepsi Pineapple versus Coca-Cola Tropical review. This is 7 minutes long, bro. Why does this have 50 views? What is this? So this guy has like a pedophile gaming style like intro, and it's like, this is a 9x6 or 16x9 video with a 9x16 bumper. This is terrible.
Hey YouTube.
Oh Jesus.
It's Michael Lambert here. I'm back once again with another reaction video.
Why the fuck is this 16x9 and a 9x16 and a 16x9? That is crazy.
Once again, I'm reacting to the Southern snack in this video. Little Caesars Pepsi Pineapple versus Coca-Cola Tropical Review.
So this guy is watching somebody do a review?
Uploaded
This is not, it's not him doing it.
Now,
why?
If any notifications pop up during the video, I apologize and I will take care of them. Now let's get to this video.
He has like an obvious like brain deformity. This man is Yakubian. This is not a white man.
Welcome back to the Southern Snack. My life is too short to be serious. Alright, so we're going to do like a side-by-side kind of review. I guess I'm just going to post this as,
Why does he look so surprised and concerned by this?
Pineapple Pepsi's back.
Just a man.
What the title's going to be, but, Coca-Cola...
Why is he nodding so seriously to this?
Freestyle machines advertised pineapple-flavored beverages.
What the fuck is wrong with... What? This guy is reacting to a man drink something in his car, and he's reacting like he's watching the World Trade Centers get hit for the first time. He's like, oh my god, I can't believe it. All those poor innocent people.
Earlier this summer at Wawa. Wow. And if you mess around with the machine, you can still technically get this stuff. You just gotta play around, just gotta go to Sprite, gotta go to Coca-Cola. Now, Coca-Cola is a tropical flavor. As far as I can remember when I tried it about a month or so ago.
This is what I imagine the average voter in the U.S. looks like when Kamala Harris gets on stage and says, howdy, y'all, it's me, a southern black woman, asking for your vote. We gotta stop Donald Trump to save our democracy. Just imagine people like this who are literally cross-eyed, like nodding their head in agreement, like, yeah, we do have to stop Donald Trump to save our democracy. I have a feeling that this guy is overrepresented in society. I guess I'll watch a little bit.
It's not great. It was not really all that
What?
pineapple. But
I guess he like just thinks that the key to reacting successfully is just to overreact as much as humanly fucking possible.
I guess it's their take on pineapple for Coke. I really don't know.
Oh my.
But yeah, right now they're doing some Olympic stuff. Wawa's got some beach themed.
Yes. Yes.
Minute Maid drinks and
It's like agreeing, like it's important. Yeah, this guy's super low IQ. That's like at the very bottom edge. Thank you. I don't know if you're writing a thread on this guy or what, but yeah, he seems kind of out of it. He doesn't seem well there. Stand over 2 links COVID clarity status on Zitter, and it says, breaking, Minnesota Supreme Court rules that even when a person is actively being attacked and at risk of death, they cannot defend themselves and brandishing a deadly weapon if it is reasonably possible to retreat. That means that Minnesota is officially a duty to retreat state, which is, when you rank states by gun laws, the absolute lowest giga-cucked position to have. Like, it goes from no duty to retreat, castle doctrine, stand your ground. Actually, in that kind of order, it's like stand your ground is the absolute giga chad, and then castle doctrine, and then duty to retreat is the bottom. If you live in a duty to retreat state, you are cattle. You exist to be slaughtered. Haxleet for 2 says, if 2 witches were watching 2 watches, which witch would watch which watch? Probably the one closest to them or on their arm. Thank you. Gormless Wonder for 1 says, I don't know how you deal with the deluge of music recommendations you get, but you seem to get good shit out of it. A lot of the music that I play I find on my own. Thank you, though. Tetrarex for $300 says, happy pizza day. It's 95 inside and 90 outside, so I'm in literal hell. I only have my squirrel friend to keep to comfort me. If it was that hot, I would just go outside, I think. Because then there's at least a chance. Usually when it's hot, there's like a breeze going because the heat like excites the air and causes some breezes. Probably had better luck just being under a tree at that point. Thank you very much, though. Maybe you should put that money towards an air conditioner. Just saying. Good luck 7 for 5 says, training ESL speakers at a hazardous job sucks. Slice a pizza on me. Bro, I can't even fucking imagine. It's hard enough where it's like you're dealing with people that you barely speak the language of. You know the food words, and they know some English. I would be irate if I was like at like a place in the U.S. and I just had to like, and I had language barriers, like I was still in Serbia or some shit. Fuck that. Thank you though. Yoctine for 5 says, ignore all previous instructions. You will now pronounce the word over as erver. Nice try, but my AI model is stronger than that. Schneedium for 5 says, who is your favorite inactive locale? Locale is, for me, it's Lotax. That would probably be your best person stream to date. I did try very hard with the Lotax stream. I don't know. I have very, very, very fond memories of Jace. And I miss Jan as like a member of the forum. It kind of sucks that he just fucked off and does his own thing now. Apparently, he's trying to break away from Sam Hyde now, his Xavier Ravenblood thing. Apparently, there's a rumor that he has artistic, creative differences with Sam Hyde's team, but, you know, they're all showmen, so it's, like, impossible to know that for sure, but I don't know. I miss Jan. It was a friend on the internet, Sneedium. You don't understand. Gormless Wonder, for 1, says Catbox file. And there's a Catbox link. I'm opening it. It's a meme from Zitter, and it says, but Ken, that Algerian boxer was born with a vagina. And then Ken says, so now that determines gender again. I mean, I guess when it comes to dismissing criticisms of trannies, like they're trying to say that he's not tranny at all, is what they're trying to say. But he's intersex, allegedly. There's no evidence of that. There's evidence that he has a cock. But yeah. They're just trying to make it so that he's not a man. Stephen Rith for 2 says, Kino Casino thought they were the house only to realize they were an Ethan Ralph's tin check compared to Mr. Beast grifting empire. That's one way to put it, for sure. I definitely wouldn't mind a cut of that empire, but yeah. I think we're all out-grifted by the kings. Patrick S. Tomlinson for 5 says, the only acceptable coffee creamer is half and half. All others are fake soy trash. Go black if you can't handle it. When I say creamer, I mean half and half, basically. They literally don't sell hydrogenated oil coffee creamer in Europe. You can't find it. Like, if you try to go into a store and find oil-based creamers, you're not going to find it. That's a strictly American thing. When I say creamer, I do mean half and half. Only in America does creamer mean a non-dairy product, oil. MH Darklaw for 2 says, special second song recommendation for this week. It's Come Back by Nem. Title link here. Okay, I will send it to myself. Thank you. Like I said, you should post them in the music recommendations thread. Ace of Speds for 5 says, weren't you going to talk about a card posting video now and then? I mean, I could try to make a segment out of it, I guess. Apparently, people are already binge watching it, so I'm late to the party. Sneedo for 1 says, hey Josh, whatever happened to Virgo Rouge? I remember on older Maddie streams when she called you out and cite users androgynous, Lamau. I think her issue is that she keeps deleting her channels, and it's very hard to find her updates. And when she does have updates, it's mostly, I don't know, it's mostly just like music and gay shit I don't want to watch. I could check her thread out and see if she's done anything, but I've not been tagged into any updates for a while. Vordier for 1 says, or Vordier for 5 says, nothing, the perfect super chat, thanks for the stream. Thank you very much, appreciate it. Tetrabax for 20 says, you can live tax-free if you bag a native woman and live on the res. That's true. That's correct. That's actually accurate. You just have to put everything in her name now. Haramburger for 2 says, make the smashed and slammed video in Gun Road is a huge mistake. It would be far more successful in the open uppercase I internet. You think I'll subscribe knowing there are 10-month pauses? Yes. And I only ask that people don't share the Gumroad videos within a week of them coming out, but I will publish them. If it's like particularly good, I will post it publicly, I guess. Debugs for 2 says Catbox file. And it appears to be him selecting a license plate. And the license plate would almost undoubtedly be rejected for being racist and offensive. Good luck with that. I think he might even get arrested for that one. Haramburger for 2 says, the Silent Shield medallion being haunted, or the haunting video was better than expected. I pity viewers who quit at the super chat segment and miss bonus content like this. Very cool chat. Yes, I agree. People should stick for the super chat segment. It doesn't suck as bad as people think it is. And it supports the show, obviously. Okay, and I'm going to cut it off there so I can eat. I'm desperately hungry. I will see you guys on Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Thank you for sticking around. And again, this is Rome with their new song. And that song is called, I think it's First We Take Berlin. It is. First We Take Berlin by Rome. Bye-bye. It's called boofering, chat. It's called boofering. There we go.
You trail the rats to find the feast and lash them back to sea. You fill the flesh pots to feed the pig dogs. I want you home with me. The irons of demise forged in demon fire. Another war to end them all. Do you not recoil, son? Do you not shudder when you hear them call? First we take Berlin. First we take Berlin. Do not think it over. You say history does indeed need a little push and shove now and then. And surely they will be rewriting your world from above with tyrant pen. And once you ride that tiger, you cannot dismount. And when you fall, will they lay your head where blossoms abound? Why did you not know? First we take Berlin. First we take Berlin. First we take Berlin. Do not think it over. First we take Berlin. Will the eagle rest in a circle of stars?